friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots. And we're standing there, and this kid just walks up to me and just on my leg. And I was so mad, and I do have a temper about me. I try to keep it under wraps, and this kid doing this put me into absolute lockdown. I didn't move. I just let the kid finish.
You didn't move your leg?
You can find Fort Worth Roots on all your favorite social media sites. Just look for Fort Worth Roots. We're also on YouTube. There are videos associated with almost all of these episodes. Just go to YouTube and look for Fort Worth Roots. All of our events and announcements and our sponsorship information is at the end of the episode. Real quick, Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk is the sponsor for the Fort Worth Roots podcast. And by calling them and telling them that you heard about them here on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, you can get a 50% off discount on a roofing tune-up. Call them at 817-882-6520. These are local roofers. They've got great ratings, and these are the people you want working on your most valuable asset, your home. You can also go to roofingsolutionshauk.com. Today's episode is absolutely unique. We have a return guest on and a new guest from the same band, Richie and the Burning Sensations. And today on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, they're doing something with us that is going to become the focus of the Fort Worth Roots studio located here just outside of downtown Fort Worth at our new brick and mortar location. They're piloting a podcast episode right here in our studio, and we got to help them with that. So that was really cool. Their podcast is going to be about music review for local DFW bands, and the band that they covered for their pilot episode here on the Fort Worth Roots podcast is Mean Motor Scooter. And if you haven't heard of this band, you've been missing out. You also have not been catching live shows. Shame on you. Anyway, we're here to rectify that. Make sure that you are aware of one of the most popular bands here in the Fort Worth area. So like I said, very unique, definitely different than anything we've done in the past. Excited to have these two guys on. Like every episode with our return guest, this one comes with a parental advisory. This episode will not be suitable for young children. Thanks to a certain somebody that if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know he always brings it. Every single time he graces us with his presence. All right, that's enough talking out of me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Please give it up for our guest today, Richie and Slim Pickens. Thank y'all for being here. Let's start the show.
I mean, I'm wearing shiny pants. Only a man in shiny pants would be.
And you picked the one seat where the camera can't see your shiny pants.
I know.
If I spread long enough,
I think the glow of your pants is reflecting.
It's probably giving me like this ethereal glow.
I see it.
He asked me if this was going to be on camera, and he said he's wearing the pants. I'm like, why the fuck? Why are you wearing the pants for the camera?
Because I got to be in character as Itchy Richie. If I'm going to be Itchy Richie,
you feel like Itchy Richie with the pants on,
with the docks. It's the pants and the docks. That's what makes me Itchy Richie.
That's his Clark Kent glasses.
Itchy's got to be itchy, man.
Right.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Just don't have the blue hair.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
I meant to figure out where this episode was going to play in the schedule before you guys got here.
Oh, well, I mean, we can figure that.
Let's do it.
He's got notes.
I've got 2 episodes before you guys, so.
Well, there's a lot to figure out, too. We want to figure out when we want to do it, or how often, rather.
Yeah, I mean, let's get this one done. We are going to be talking about Mean Motor Scooter's January 13th show, so if we can drop it before that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, here's when it's coming out. So we got Thursday. All right, so the 19th and the 26th. So we got one coming out on Christmas Day. I might try to. Nah, that'll be fine. Okay, so you guys are the first recording for 2023.
Perfect.
And that is going to release.
So is that how you want us to do it? Is we're doing it this is going to be Fort Worth Roots Presents, and this is our little talky talk?
2 things are going to happen.
Okay.
We're going to have an episode here, and apparently it is the Happy New Year 2023 episode with our good friends from Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations.
So we're doing a Fort Worth Roots podcast right now. Yes, that's fine. If we are, that's great. I just want to know what we're getting into
because we have plans.
I need to know what dicks to talk about.
Do we need like a name for what we're doing?
Yeah, we probably do at some point.
So you haven't even made it that far yet.
No,
this is his baby, really.
I skipped that and went straight to all the questions we need. Yeah, the name doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
I think it should be.
So here's what we'll do.
Music review.
People already know that Itchy Richie is a prolific man with the language. So it'll be no shock, and surely I won't have to put an advisory on there. So happy birthday to the Earth, and happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the New Year's episode.
It's a New Year's episode, yeah.
So, in that case, yes, Happy New Year. I'm not even 37 yet. Yeah. I don't even like it. Well, whatever.
If you're listening to this podcast, you made it through several days with your family over the last couple of months, in all likelihood. So
has this been an issue for you?
Is it not for you?
Well, I think this year it's going to be more of an issue than usual. Usually I just ignore everybody and don't do any of the holiday stuff. But
I usually get to the other end and I'm like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That's what the beer's for.
Lots of beers. Lots of holiday beers.
Sometimes that can
My mom and I got into like an Irish whiskey thing. That's kind of what we do.
Really?
Yeah, like Jameson.
Can we do a mom swap this holiday?
Dude, you can. My mom adopts. My mom's already adopted him, and which is
but not as a son.
What?
No.
If there was going to be a formal relationship,
dude, if you're going to bang my mom, you're going to have to start paying child support to me. I'm just saying,
or at least an allowance.
Yeah, where's my allowance?
Look, I'm just saying we've got plans to go to the WinStar. Me and Rich's mom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My mom's cool. She gambles and drinks.
Now answer this for me because I haven't been, and I've heard a real nasty rumor that has kept me from going.
Paying for booze.
Well, that's probably is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, in like in Vegas, you're supposed to get free drinks when you're at the casino. Yeah. Good luck. That chick comes around like once every hour.
You got to tip her real fucking
Vegas
well right off the bat.
Is them coming by, and that depends on the if you're playing higher dollar slots, they're going to come by more frequently. If they're playing the penny slots, not so much.
So I'm not a slots guy, but the issue that I have heard is that you have to pay an ante every hand.
Yeah,
correct.
You do.
Correct. Think about this.
That's why we go to Shreveport.
At a $5 table,
you
have to pay a 50-cent ante.
It's they have $5 blackjack.
Maybe it doesn't go that low, but either way, it's a 50-cent ante for every hand. But just say it's a $10 table, you're losing 5% every single time by paying that 50%. There's no way to even break even. I mean, I hope nobody's going to the WinStar trying to make money.
It's a racket. Well, you
should just be going to have
I've got
fun.
the poison because the first time I went to Vegas, I sat down at a blackjack table and I played with $100, and it lasted me all night. I eventually lost, but I mean, I was up and down and up and down, and I sat there for probably 8 hours on $100.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, I did pretty well until I started getting greedy and I started betting too much and losing too quickly. That was my problem. So the day we were about to leave, I think our flight was leaving out at 11 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to go back down there. I got $100.
The classic folly.
That's how it starts.
So I went down there and I played as strategically as I could. And I'm an absolute moron with cards too. Like, there's a whole book of like what you hit on and what you don't.
Yeah.
I don't play like
you haven't read that book.
I don't even know how to read. So I go down there and I play, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm on a clock this time. I can't just sit here and let my lungs fill up with secondhand smoke for the next 8 hours. I got to really move. So I got to where I would play just with what I had over here in this pile, and then all my winnings I'd keep over here, and I would not touch them.
Yeah.
And so I was just playing with this pile, and I'd win a little bit, and I'd put it back over here. I went back to the room with over $300, and my brother's like, how did you do blackjack? Yeah. The last 3 hours you did this? And so now I've got, I'm convinced that I'm Rain Man, and all that's really needed for me to win is to put me at a blackjack table.
Then you need to go to Shreveport. Shreveport's where it's at.
You probably are Rain Man in all facets except from being able to play cards.
Damn.
Right, or being a genius. Right. The other stuff.
You are a genius. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Cheers. Anyway, so I don't know why we're talking about
Shreveport. That's I have not been to
Richie's
Shreveport
mom.
in
You haven't
many
been to
years,
Shreveport?
but yeah, I'm not going to Windstar anymore. I'm going to Shreveport. It's an hour farther, but
It's an hour further, but you don't have to pay an ante and drinks are free.
right.
There you go.
So it's worth it.
I've not been
It is. Oh, dude. Well, Diamond Jack's closed. That used to be where. So my 21st birthday, that was where my mom took me, was Diamond Jack's.
Yeah.
And I lost my ass within, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. My mom gave me $100 and was just like, this is, go have fun.
That's all you get.
Yeah. And I was like,
Don't
all right,
come
cool.
asking
He
for
did not
more.
get 8 hours of playing out of his $100.
Just wait. I got something. So what happened was.
What happened was now I'm called Itchy Richie.
And it's because of Shreveport. No,
So many people share that tale.
Shreveport is where crabs originated. It's patient zero.
Did you hear the statement I just made? You could take that either way.
Yeah.
So many have had that tale.
Yeah. No.
Shared that tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally
Okay.
and figuratively.
All right, I'm sorry.
I see what
Continue
you
with
did.
your
Yeah.
story.
Let's hear the story.
I was with my stepdad at the time, and he was trying to teach me to play, and of course,
Did he pay
I'm
your
not
allowance?
listening. No.
Oh, damn it.
He still owes me.
You're off the hook.
I lose my $100 in 15 minutes. I go back to the hotel room. There's a marathon of the original 3 Batman movies on TBS. I'm good. Batman Returns is on. Whatever. So I'm just like, all right, cool. Guess this is my 21st birthday. My mom comes in. She goes, what are you doing? I was like, I'm out of money watching fucking Batman because I'm out of money. She goes, no, you're not, and chunks an envelope at me. And it hits me, and it hurts a little bit. And I almost call CPS, even though I'm 21.
Because that's what $10,000 feels like.
Mama
Was
done
it
got
10,000? But
paid.
it was like 5,000. She hit 5,000 on the slots. She jackpotted the slots.
Oh, my God. Nobody does that, right?
Exactly. And she's just like, she goes, I'm paying for the rest of your trip. I was like, yes. So I went back down to the blackjack table.
Who's the real winner here?
Then I started playing slots with my mom, and I actually came up also.
Damn.
So I went down, played some more blackjack, but what I decided to do is I was up like $300. I was like, I'm 21 now. I'm going to spend it on booze. So I went to the bar where you buy drinks, and I was like, what have I not tried yet? Make me one of those.
I bet you were out of money before you could get drunk.
Nope.
No. Oh, you are just 21 though. So.
Low tolerance.
My tolerance is pretty high at 21. But I got pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
But I still came home with $100. So
Yeah.
Oh, and then I hit on the slots also.
And
that was the other thing.
And your moniker.
Itchy Richie, yeah.
All right.
Even though I came up with it before then, that's when I earned it.
So we
Right.
should do a trip. We should do a Fort Worth cool people trip. Just pack all our friends.
Well, Jerry Jonestown Massacre used to do like a camp out, so I think we should do something of equivalent.
I've been hinting around at that for months now, and I can't get anybody to really.
What if we had something like a, I don't know, camp out sort of hootenanny,
Yeah.
where you bring some
We want musicians
artists
there,
and
yeah.
musicians, get them out in the woods, bring your acoustic shit, bring your cajones, and
have both of those things.
have some booze and some tents, or I don't know, maybe even go glamping if we got enough people and enough resources to.
It'd be
But I don't know. That could be fun.
yeah.
See what happens around a campfire with some of DFW's artistic bunch.
Yeah, just a night out and
Yeah,
tomfoolery and
what
See
it
where
made
it
me
goes.
think of is going to Jellystone Park.
yeah.
where's Jellystone?
It's in Burleson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Is it-
awesome.
Is that one just right off the highway?
Yeah, you see
Water
it right off
slides
35.
and all that?
Yeah, so Pirates Cove, I used to sell both of those places pizza. That's why I know those places so well. Yeah, but you can rent cabins. You can have fires in the little pit outside.
Seems like kind of a family atmosphere, though.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it is you can ruin a lot of vacations.
And I'm talking about inviting, real animals like Joe Savage and, Crazy people.
And that's what I'm saying
we might need to go up to Oklahoma for that. So, like,
But-
once whatever fire we start, we can just drive away from. Just drive back to
that's Broken Bow. Yeah. We do that in Broken Bow and be like,
Yeah. I'm going to Broken Bow in January.
oh, you are?
Yeah. I'm going glamping, though. We've got, like, a
If you're going,
house. And
if you're going to Broken Bow, you're probably in a nice cabin.
Yeah.
See, what we need is I have some friends out in Abilene, Texas, and we used to just go to a friend's 4,000-acre family. I don't know if you'd call it a ranch or what you'd call it. It was just a big
Property.
Farm.
a big ass piece of property. Yeah, and we just go out there and cut down trees and
You didn't tell
make
us your phone
fires.
either.
And,
I'm not the only asshole here.
anyway, that's what we need. Just space.
I'm going out to
Yeah.
Abilene next month.
Why would you do that?
Food show.
Food show.
I have to work a food show for work.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. It's fun. I enjoy it. I get to give people sweets. I'm like Willy Wonka. I get to stand there and be like, have my dessert slices. Let's just, come on.
Maybe
Let's eat it up.
Maybe the way to do it. Sorry, that I'm
No.
thinking about this thing.
No, I think it's a good idea. Keep going.
Is to get enough folks, like you do like an unplugged thing during the day for a few hours, and then
After
tell the
party.
audience to fuck off. Yeah, basically at sundown, and the rest of the the musicians and the people that came to perform.
Y'all
stay
go on
and
now,
hang
you
out
get.
and- get on out of here. More of a Ferris Bueller. I'm thinking like, that's show's done. Like,
Yeah.
It's
where
over.
Would,
Go
where would
home.
this happen?
yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm seeing it. Campsites. There's a lake. There's a little amphitheater at most. Well, not most, but maybe a lot of campsites had some kind of little
Fairly
amphitheater.
common thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I don't know. Maybe you could do a day show. Get like 5 bands, doing some kind of acoustic sort of set out there.
I
and
mean,
then-
if I'm going to see Jaybirds live, I want to see them acoustic.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, that's the only way I've heard them so far, too. So,
Yeah.
because I've heard them on your podcast.
yeah.
And like around 10 o'clock, we're like, why doesn't Joe have a shirt on? And he's yelling at people, I'm savage. And he's just running around all sorts of
Does
craziness.
Joe get savage like that?
I don't know. I think in the right environment, he could get there.
Yeah.
He seems like a pretty chill dude.
He's extremely chill. But can you imagine if, like, you gave him some ayahuasca or something?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, who's bringing the
ayahuasca just got introduced, and we weren't even aware that was going to be a thing?
Yeah, I'm definitely in now.
Okay,
I thought we were
that
in the-
changes
Were we
everything.
in the
Yeah.
Tria Trust? We were in the Trust Tria.
We are in the trust
I mean,
tree,
but now we're going to have to hire security because that's.
Richie's trying to drown himself in the lake again. Get him out.
He's
the
saying
first 4 times were funny, man.
everything he can accomplish in life. It's time to go ahead and take it to the light.
Now he's saying he's Poseidon. This is getting weird.
Have you ever heard somebody refer to the backsplash from a porta potty as Poseidon's kiss?
Yes, I have.
I just
have
heard
not.
that recently.
I've heard it. I've not heard it specifically to porta potties. Just any vessel in which you shit and water touches your butthole.
It's just the grossest thing ever to refer to that as a kiss. Just really
I mean, it's not the
Say
most
this-
unpleasant feeling.
Say this again.
Poseidon's kiss.
Poseidon's kiss, and Richie described it how?
It is when a turd falls from your buttocks
Oh,
and hits the water and it causes a splash, and that splash touches your anus, not the planet,
I
your
did
butthole.
not know. I did not need to know that there was a term for that, but
It's just, it was brought up, I think today actually. And
was-
it's just fresh on my mind. He said Poseidon. There you go.
I bet that originated in Germany. They've got words for things like that.
It wasn't Poseidon's kiss. It was like Garten Flockenschocken Brocken.
But it roughly translates.
Translates to Poseidon's kiss.
Would like to apologize to any Germans listening to this show.
So, are we going to
let's-
record a podcast?
We need to get into this. So the real reason you guys thought you were coming here today, I guess, was to do the pilot for an upcoming podcast that is
name TBD.
Okay, but this
That's
is
what we should call it.
this is Slim's baby.
Yeah,
It's a Slim's
yeah,
baby,
yeah.
for
Let's call it the DFW album review hour.
Even though it's 15 minutes, we're going to call it an hour.
Exactly.
Perfect.
It's like a Ben Folds 5 thing. I'm in.
Yeah.
Ben Folds 5 was a trio.
Assholes.
Nobody can listen to a podcast for more than an hour anyway.
Hey, what's
so.
Seven Dust about? Where did they get their name? I
Seven Dust is a type of insecticide.
I know, but it's a band.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
Denial.
okay, so they just named themselves after the most effective ant killer on the planet?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. I don't know why you do that, but okay.
Why wouldn't you? I named my
was
my band after
ant
STDs.
killer.
Like what?
Well, we know why you did that. And so
Shreveport.
does your wife.
No, she doesn't.
Sorry, Mrs. Keller.
We're still trying to figure it out.
Oh, shit, I got a lot to explain for you now.
I don't know that. People, everything we say here is just jokes. There's no facts.
There is none.
Most of the names in this recording have been changed for the safety of the people involved.
That's always a good idea.
All right,
Need
so
another beer. I've already killed this tall boy.
while you're going to get both of us a beer.
Hey, and
That's yours.
No.
No, I got another
This is
tall
his
boy.
reserve.
quick.
No, he's got another one for him right there.
All right, cool.
I
We're
brought
all
two.
set.
Yeah, quick logistical question though. At some, several points in the podcast, we were wanting to actually play a song.
Did y'all bring your stuff?
No. Play
Oh.
a song from the album that we're
yeah.
talking about.
I can.
How do
Bluetooth
we
you
do
in.
that? We can Bluetooth that in? Okay, perfect. That makes it
Whoa.
super duper easy.
Bull in a china shop. Nice pants though. Can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me more about the podcast idea. So you're going to take an album, you're going to play a few songs from it,
Yeah, so
and it's always local bands?
yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
That's the plan.
DFW at large or Fort Worth?
Yeah, DFW.
Okay.
So yeah, essentially we'll just spend a couple minutes at the very beginning just hitting the basics, who they are, where they're from, when the album came out, that kind of thing, and then we'll get into our review of the album.
Okay.
Like what he liked about it, what I liked about it, maybe what we didn't like, and then at some point, probably close to the top of this sort of opinion section, we'll play his favorite song from the album.
Which will be disclosed at a later point.
Yeah. That's a spot.
That's the hook.
Yeah.
I kind of want us to have a Siskel and Ebert vibe. Did you ever watch that?
It's been a minute.
You remember it though.
Vaguely, yeah.
Walk us through that.
Watching Siskel and Ebert, they both. Well, here's the problem: we're too similar. Siskel and Ebert were pretty polar sometimes, but the way they talk to each other, I don't know. They had a good repartee, as the French would say,
I know they did
before they
reviews-
surrender.
Reviews of movies and things like that, right?
They did it for the Chicago Sun-Times, but they also had a TV show that was syndicated.
Yeah, and I
I used to see it on the TV
never
show.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they gave Pulp Fiction glowing reviews. I just watched that again recently.
That surprises me because usually their reviews were like scathing, right?
They were only scathing of stuff that really legitimately sucked.
Yeah, I mean,
Pulp
it was,
Fiction
it
was
pretty well on the level.
One of the best American films ever made,
Oh, without a doubt.
for sure.
So good. I kept this uncomfortable hunk of metal in my ass.
4 long years.
That was
It's my terrible
God.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that. I mean, you think you know what's going on, and then you realize you have no idea what's going on, and then it all ties together at the end. It's brilliant. It's a masterpiece.
It is. It's a great movie. Anyway, so I derailed the conversation.
Oh, no, it's okay. That's mostly what this is derailing and getting back on track, right?
That's the only reason Andrew has me here. He's like, this guy can't stay
Well, you know,
at
usually-
attention for one thing for longer than 5
Usually, I
seconds.
have a notebook in front of me, and I have like a format and questions I want to ask and shit like that. But whenever this guy shows up,
Right. I still like to have the format just in case. If there's a slowdown, I go, yeah.
you gotta have a.
Yeah, so anyway, I've got a informational section, an opinion section. That's where the meat of the podcast is the opinion section where a couple songs get played. And then at the end, we're going to talk about Rich's least favorite song on the album. And we're also going to
So we're throwing me
play
under
that.
the bus now.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
supposed to be
So
a
the-
mutually agreed
no.
upon.
So the idea is every other week, like this week or month, whatever, this pod, we play your least favorite song. Next week we'd play mine.
okay,
Because really
okay.
3 songs is about as much as we can get into a 15-minute
pod.
podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we want to play each of our 2 favorites and then also play our least favorite and then we'll just
And
alternate
that's
weeks.
almost 10 minutes.
Now, do y'all want to do a dry run? And from this point of the recording forward, we can.
Well, I mean, we were going to do it at some point tonight. If you're going to use this for Fort Worth Roots, we can.
Well, I can. What we can do is I can do the full episode, full recording on my episode for the Fort Worth Roots, and then have yours
that's
ready to cut.
Is that cool with you?
For a pilot?
Say that again now.
So the full recording would be like a Fort Worth Roots episode.
Yeah.
Us bullshitting and him using foul language in front of all my Christian friends.
Yeah.
Or
he's a sinner. He's hiding behind that.
He's hiding behind the veil of sin.
So, we could do that. Or I can just use our content from us messing around and then use yours separately. However y'all want to do it. But we can do a dry run right now.
We're already in a weird groove of weirdness. Let's get the weirdness out of the way, and he can just stick with that, and then we can actually have a professional podcast.
Semi.
So he looks good finally.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna go clack. Now we're starting the podcast.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you some intro music. Let's see. Let's. Okay, and the music will cue up, and then whenever you're ready, you just tell people who you are and what you're doing.
All right. Fort Worth listeners, this is Slim Pickens here. I am on the Fort Worth Roots podcast. I've got Itchy Richie from Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations. By the way, I play guitar in this guy's sucky band.
It's true.
But
these guys blow goats. I have proof.
Here we are. He'll get on the air. He'll, talk some smack with me. And today, we are in the throes of launching a new podcast. It's a Fort Worth album review. Well, not just Fort Worth, really DFW. Local bands.
Today, it's a Fort Worth band specifically.
Today, it is a Fort Worth band. That's right. So today, we're going to be talking about Mean Motor Scooters album. This is a 2018 album, so we're kind of going back in time a little bit.
And you know what? That's fine. We should go back in time because there's some classic albums from local bands that we need to
That's
cover.
right. And this is a pilot, and this is...
And we can do whatever the fuck we want.
That's exactly right. This album means something to me, so...
It's same here. Here. Yeah, so it's Mean Motor Scooters album, Hindu Flying Machine from 2018.
Yep. So this was their first album, and this is their only full-length album, which I didn't realize until I did a little Spotify research.
2023.
They got something else coming out?
They got something coming out. They're working on their second album.
Okay. Any idea what that's going to be called?
That's a Joe question.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. And, maybe someday we'll be able to get these artists on here with us to talk about said album. So, this was their first album. They had a few singles. They'd had an EP from 2015. So this was sort of I feel like this was their biggest production to date.
Would agree.
Hindu Flying Machine. I got, let me pull up my notes here. Should we talk a little bit about the people in this band? Rich, Joe. That's kind of the reason that we're doing this to begin with.
Well, and full disclosure here, Joe Tacky recorded the first Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations album, Continuous Vaudeville, now available on all streaming services. And so we do have a relationship with this guy. But all that being said, we're not blowing smoke for the sake of blowing smoke. This is an album we both enjoyed.
Yeah.
And
so Joe Tacky, he owns Cloudland Studios. This is where this album's recorded. It's also where Itchy Richie's album Continuous Vaudeville was
now streaming
recorded.
on all services.
Still now streaming. Right. It's going to be streaming right now, and it's going to be streaming at the end of this podcast.
Yep, exactly.
So, we got our plugs in here. So just a little bit about this band. I don't really know these guys besides Joe. Do you?
I do not. I've seen them live, and I'm familiar with them peripherally, but
yeah. So just the facts then. Sammy Kidd, guitar and vocals.
Yep.
Jeffrey Friedman on drums. Mm-hmm. Rebecca Elizabeth on keys and vocals. and obviously Joe Tacky on bass.
Yep.
Yeah, so actually I reached out to Joe to let him know we were doing this. They have a band rehearsal tonight because they've got a show on January 13th. Otherwise, we might have been able to steal Joe to get him out here. But he gave me a few interesting insights that I did not know about this album before I listened to it to do the podcast. So I'm going to save a little bit of that for later. So just a little teaser to whip out later. So a little teaser to whip out later. I did say that.
That's what she said.
All right, so let's just go ahead and get right into it then. Rich, what do you think about this album? Give me the vibe of it.
I really liked it. If I were tasting this like a wine, it gave me notes of Pixies, notes of Toadies, which is a good local Fort Worth pedigree.
All right. Name dropper.
A little bit. That's the whole point.
No.
Yeah, it's very post-punk, very surf influenced. Yes, smell it. Smell the surf in it.
Take a sniff and then drink.
Take a sniff and then drink. Yeah, it's surf punk basically.
Right.
Which is a lot of fun.
You know what I actually heard when I was listening to it for the, I don't know, upteenth time? I was listening to it closely, in preparation for this podcast. The keys on it, man. The keys.
Yeah.
Like it's
distinct.
Really drives it, and it's got a little bit of a like Doors feel. Like it kind of, I started hearing something that I had not heard in this album until I sat down to give it a deep dive, and I really kind of found myself coming to a greater appreciation for it. I know what my favorite song is in this album.
What is it?
Well, I'm not telling because I'm saving that for the teaser. But
fine, I guess I'll tell mine.
Yeah, let's tell yours.
Pardon me. Mine is Lizard Man. Lizard Man is my favorite track on this album.
Lizard Man. Let's tell us a little bit about it.
Lizard Man is about this man who is a lizard. This is my interpretation of it. It could be wrong. Sammy Kid is more than welcome to come correct me on this. But this lizard who's a man and his evolution into having a family and doing all these.
Can we hit the pause button just for a second and
Sure.
back up to tell a little bit about how this album starts? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I don't mean literally back up. We're backing up for the listeners here. Okay. So the album starts with the phone ringing. The President of the United States picks up the phone. And apparently UFOs have landed both in Fort Worth and in Washington, D.C. And you hear
which makes sense.
And then the line goes dead, kind of deal. That is the introduction into the album. And it's actually it's intro. Like it's on Spotify, as you can go listen to it as intro, which I think is real fun. Not many albums have an actual intro
anymore.
Track.
That's not something that's done.
So the whole album is really, and I don't know if it is totally about like aliens and extraterrestrials.
It seems like it,
but a lot of it is.
It's very. I mean, it's very. It's about very. What's the word I'm looking
existential.
For? Existential things. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But fun. Normally when you start getting into existential music, it's like, it's kind of sad and depressing. But it's really like. It's more like the front man is taking the role of this person that is on this planet and now moving his way through this planet and making music as...
And that's what's cool. That's what I think every song is about, is a different and I could be wrong, and maybe you have some insight to this that I don't. But every song seems to me like a different perspective on that event from the intro.
Right.
And like Sam the Homo Sapien, which is my least favorite track on the album. Still a good song.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on it.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
All.
I'll tell you why you're stupid for thinking that, but that's okay.
And I'll tell you why your opinion doesn't matter. I feel like, there's every song is a perspective on this singular event. And as a result, you get kind of these different personalities, these different things going on. And...
Which is maybe why. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and play your favorite song from the track and song from the album, and then we'll be able to talk about that and kind of thread this some of these ideas together a little more closely.
Okay, yeah.
That is Lizard Man. That's Rich's favorite track on this album.
It is.
How come?
I like the narrative of it and the delivery of it, and the production in particular with the double-tracked vocals.
Yeah. So it's a recording, it's a performance, it's a delivery thing for you.
Oh, yeah, across the board, it's a delivery, a performance. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I dig that track. It's not my favorite track, but it is exploring this idea that the whole track is exploring. Is like, what does it mean to be a human here on this earth from this perspective? Kind of like thinking about it from an extraterrestrial point of view, which I feel like is a through line for the whole song, and not to mention even, and we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but for their newest stuff too, like Human Suit. you know.
I didn't even.
It's
put it in that
existential in that kind of way, right?
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and just get to my favorite song. And I hate to, I always want to like the thing that nobody else likes, but this was the most listened to track on Spotify. It's called Sea Serpent. To me, this was just the rockiest album, probably the one that it would have the most mainstream appeal if it was just put out on the radio right this second. So let me pull that up real fast.
That consume my soul, trapped in a world of chaotic control. I love you, baby, but just what do you see? I won't accept what I don't want it to be. You know I love you, babe. You know I love you, babe. You know I love you, babe. You know I love you, but you wanted my soul. You know I can't give you what I can't control. I love you, honey, but you're crushing my heart. Left me for dead after you tore me apart. I love you, honey, but I cannot give back. 'Cause loving you is like a goddamn spell. You know I love you, babe. You know I love you, babe. You know I love you, babe. Yeah.
That's Sea Serpent, my favorite track on the Mean Motor Scooter album. Although, man, it was really a toss-up. There were
There's not a bad song on this
three
album.
or four. Well, according to you, there's at least one.
I didn't say it was bad. It's just not, just not my favorite.
No,
man.
okay, yeah. So I meant to do this before we played this song, but a little fun fact that I did not know about this album: the keys got added basically post-production. Joe said the album was done before they brought
Rebecca
in for keys. Yeah, I was looking up her name to make sure that was right. Which is interesting to me because to me the keys drive that album. Like, I mean, it is just
it's interesting that it's very interesting that those were a later addition. I can, from a production standpoint, understand how that worked, but the same time, I can't hear those songs without it.
Right, exactly. Like I could not. I mean, they got to the end of the album, and were like, you know what? It needs something else.
Yeah,
I don't know what that something else is, but it needs it. And somebody said, you know what? Let's get some keys in here.
Yeah.
This is why we need to have we need to get the actual artist on the podcast next time we do that, so we can answer these kinds of questions.
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I also forgot to do was to even say hello or thanks or do you want a beer to our wonderful host. I did say, do you want a beer to our wonderful host,
Bro, I'm here
Andrew
for you,
Turner.
and I have a beer.
But he's been quietly sitting here, watch me and Rich shoot the breeze over an album that we both love, and we haven't even talked to this guy once.
Well, I'm excited that you guys are here at the Fort Worth Roots studio. This is the first time we've done something like this, and this is one of the key things that I want to accomplish with this studio is bringing people in and help them build podcasts. So the fact that you're here doing your pilot episode is beyond excellent. Thank you guys for being here.
Awesome,
Thanks
man.
for having us.
Yeah,
man.
thanks.
100%.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man. We're super excited about continuing to get connected and help connect the Fort Worth artistic and musical community. I think that seems to be kind of an underlying driving thing with what you're doing. So
yeah. And I think that this facility here, in all of its glory, is going to be something that we can use to do exactly that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's continue then with the album review and let Rich talk about why he hates one of the Mean Motor Scooter songs.
All right.
You already said it. You already said you
I
hated
never
it.
said I hated it.
I heard hate.
Y'all are putting words in my mouth, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
I didn't say I hated it.
Joe Tacky's coming for you.
You know what? Bring
Right.
it, Joe.
You can never record at his studio again.
Cloudland what? Not for you, sir.
That's fine. I'll just record at my house, and it'll sound shitty. That's not the point. That's not the point. Okay, so in all fairness, never said I hated it. I just thought it was redundant. Sam the Homo Sapien, I think, is a redundant song.
Why?
Because I feel like it was the same material that we covered with Lizard Man.
Right.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And like I said at the beginning of this is, to me, feels like one story being told from multiple perspectives. So maybe this is just the perspective I don't favor.
Right. Yeah, so one song, and by the way, we're going to play Sam the Homo Sapien, so we're going to let the listeners of this podcast decide if Rich is on point or off base with this.
Totally off base.
Actually,
I mean, probably.
I think, kind of what we, talked about this a little earlier is a bit of a double beat. Lizard Man was kind of the same type of material. The song sounds different, and they're fun. If you just listen to them, if you just want to jam out to the music, you never compare those two songs together. But as far as the subject matter of the song, did cover a lot of the same ground. Of course, if you're writing an album about UFOs and aliens,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough not to cover the same ground.
You know the band way better than I do. Sammy the Kid, does he write all of this? Is he the writer for the band?
I think so.
So maybe
Maybe that's not correct. Again, why we need a member of the band here to clear up some of these questions. Why do you ask?
now if it is all Sammy the Kid, he might really be trying to lean hard into this Lizard Man thing. Maybe that's why it covers 2 tracks.
Yeah.
Very possible.
I actually wrote a little, like when I was listening to this, just kind of taking notes, I was like, Lizard Man, that kind of sounds like the Solarian hypothesis from Doctor Who, I think is what that was on, which, kind of into that weird stuff, So, I don't know, it'd be cool to talk to him and find out, what the connections are there. So, other connections, though, Mean Motor Scooter, does that name ring a bell to you guys? Do y'all have any idea where that
I have an
from?
origin story for it, I believe.
Okay. I think I know what it is, too.
From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And we have confirmed this with Joe.
We did confirm this with Joe. It is from that movie, From Dusk Till Dawn. Have you seen that, Andrew?
I've seen the movie, but I can't remember what you're talking about.
I went and looked up the scene today.
Okay.
So the premise of the movie, George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino's characters basically take a family hostage, and they're going to deliver something, money. I don't know. But they Quentin Tarantino, or George Clooney's character, is impressing upon Harvey Keitel, the father of this family that they've kidnapped, that there's some bad MFers, but he describes himself as
We're
a couple of mean motor scooters, and that's really all you need to understand. And I had forgotten about that when I was listening to the album today, and I was like, you know what? These songs, they sound like they belong on a Quentin Tarantino soundtrack.
Dude, okay. Yes.
And then a couple minutes later, I was like, oh, you know what? Mean Motor Scooter. That's their name comes from, I think that was actually
it's a Robert
Rodriguez movie, but it's, Quentin Tarantino was in it. It's adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, they're kissing cousins in cinema.
So
disgusting.
Yeah.
Texas, I think it's allowed.
It's Arkansas, dude.
That's where he's from.
Oh,
they allow all that.
Yeah. Look, fact is, we're the stepchildren, in this great nation. Texas was like our big brother. It's been, kicking our ass for years. We just kind of learned to accept our role and fit in where we can get in.
Stop boning your sisters. I'm just saying.
Working on that,
Progress.
Yeah.
It's like a 12-step program or something.
First is admitting you have a problem.
I'm not king of Arkansas, I'm just from Arkansas.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. So let's listen to that last song.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Richard wants Joe Tacky to know that this song sucks. All right. No, I'm done. I'm done with that.
I'm going to have to message Joe and be like,
don't believe any of it.
Anything Slim says is
You think Joe's going to listen to your show?
Probably not.
All right. Here we go.
The Homo sapien once was a monkey man. Does evolution can? I learned to cook my meat. I walked all out of velvet feet, and now I'm here to say I'll have it always been this way. I learned it all.
That was Sam the Homo Sapien. The double beat.
Yeah, again, nothing wrong with the song at all. I really enjoyed the song, but I think content-wise, it covers some of the same territory.
Yeah,
personally.
the song's fun as fuck, though.
Oh, it is, without a doubt.
In fact, I mean, like, when I was listening to it, it was, you know, if a song, like, makes me step away from what I'm doing to, like, go write a note down, I feel like that's usually a good sign, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was the song that made me realize how existential this album really is. It's not...
Okay,
that
makes sense.
It's fun. It's upbeat. There's not a slow song on the album. There's not a downer the whole time.
No.
The whole album is upbeat energy, and from what I understand about their show is off the chain. Our own bassist, like, you know, came back from a Mean Motor Scooter show just swearing by him. Actually, I think that might have been an Uncle Toasty show.
That was an Uncle Toasty show.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're talking about the same DNA.
Right.
And having seen Mean Motor Scooter myself, before I knew them, so this was a completely objective, like, and this is around the time this album came out.
Yeah.
Completely objective, don't know them from Adam. Seeing them live was one of those things where it's like, oh shit, you need to up your game.
Right.
You need to, like, really figure out what you're doing.
Right.
Because what they're doing is far beyond.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. And I think, obviously, you know, we want to be emulating Mean Motor Scooter and Uncle Toasty in our own work as much as we can, because those guys...
In the ways that
really,
we should, yes.
Yeah, really have their shit together. You know, one of the things that I really loved and appreciated about this album, not only because I'm, you know, kind of a alien UFO conspiracy theorist, yeah, that one, it gets me. I love that shit. But anyway, but beyond that... they had fun with the album. It was not self-serious.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right, and I feel like in my own writing, you know, a lot of times I want to get too serious, and they did not do that with this. And it's like I'm impressed by I forget what was the front guy's name again?
Sammy Kid.
Sammy, right. I'm impressed by the way that he can separate, you know, this. I don't know if he's separating. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about aliens and UFOs and extraterrestrials all day long, but I kind of doubt it.
Well,
you know,
I
think it's awesome that he wrote an album.
He did just release a video, music video that was shared by Amplify 817 and a bunch of the big people here in Fort Worth.
Is it Slacker?
Yeah, and it's all about him being two different people. You know,
Right.
there's Sammy,
Right.
and then there's Sammy on stage. And
Right.
the entire video is just him running around trying to apologize
Right.
for Sammy on stage.
Yeah.
So he does. It seems
Conceptually, that's brilliant. I should apologize for Richie.
Yeah. And I love that. And
I'm not gonna.
and even that ties back into this theme, you know, of this, you know, these two different people, this alien from another planet, plus this person here on Earth that, you know, whose kind of body he occupies from time to time. It's like maybe the alien is his rock persona, similar to the way, you know, we've got Itchy Richie out here tonight, but he's got to drive home and be Richard Keller.
right.
Why'd you have to say my government name in front of everyone?
Itchy Richie on a short
they're gonna
final
look.
for
Yeah,
bedtime.
everybody that listens to this is gonna look you up and
They are, and they're going to go,
yeah,
ugh, it's Fat Tom Green. And
yeah.
then they'll close
Throw,
out Facebook.
throw tomatoes at your house for not liking that song.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
They probably will. But you know what? That's fine. I need to make pizza sauce.
I'm glad it's not my turn for a least favorite song, because I've gotten a lot of mileage out of ribbing you over that one.
And that's what your listeners
'Cause I
have to
actually
look forward
liked
to,
it.
because y'all are going to alternate, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and
That's right.
I can't wait till the pressure's off me.
Yeah, he can give me the shit next
You seem
time.
like you're dealing with it okay.
It's fine. I can defend
He's
myself.
had a couple of beers. He can
That's
deal
true.
with just about anything at this point.
That's true story.
All right. Is there anything else we want to cover on our review of the Mean Motor Scooter Hindu Flying Machine album review podcast?
Is there any other background stuff you have?
You guys mind
shall
if I
tell
ask
you.
you a couple questions?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
please.
fire 'em
This
off.
being your pilot episode, what are you hoping to kind of accomplish with this show? What should your fans expect?
Can I go first?
Yeah, please.
I want to have fun. No, honestly, like I mean that is kind of the thing. Like, you know, first and foremost, I want to have fun with it.
There you go.
And if it's not fun, I don't really want to do it.
On the world of podcasting, if
Yeah.
you're not enjoying it,
Yeah.
then you're in it for the wrong reason.
But fun for me right now is really getting more and more connected with the Fort Worth music scene and the art scene that's here, because I found that there's a lot of really, really great stuff going on here, and maybe it needs a bit more of a spotlight on it.
And it's growing, right?
That's right.
I mean, Fort Worth is on fire right now. The local music.
We got guys
community.
like you that are, blowing it up, doing the spotlight shining. So we kind of want to be a part of that.
Where there's a need, right? There's a vacuum. Somebody needs to be there. So
Yeah. All right.
Welcome aboard.
But it's fun. But that's it for me.
For me, it's the fun, for sure, obviously. But the other part of it is, I don't know. It's something I've always wanted to do. I think to focus on these local artists, these people that are our peers, essentially. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think it's fun, and it gets to, everyone gets tied up in the big stuff in the zeitgeist, right? But we have so much going on just locally. I love that we are kind of shining a spotlight on Mean Motor Scooter. Not everyone's heard them.
They should.
Right. They should though. Yeah. And it's local music. That's the thing, is getting into that local homegrown thing. People don't realize how much good is happening
Right.
so close to their front door.
Right. I went to a show this last weekend. The Smile.
Oh, that's right.
Tom York, Johnny Greenwood. That should be a badass show. And I enjoyed it.
What was the venue?
And it was fun. It was at the Factory.
Oh, okay, in Dallas.
Yeah. And it was fun. I had a good time. But I've had much more fun going to see shows from some good local artists like Mean Motors. I have more fun doing that.
Yeah.
And it's you know what? You can spend $10 and go to Lola's and see 3 or 4 badass bands for the price of one ticket.
Yeah.
To see some of the acts that come through here on national tours, and I don't know that everybody realizes that.
No, they don't realize that for the amount of money you'll spend on one ticket to go see whatever national touring act is coming through, you can have entrance, a few drinks, and an Uber home.
Well, look at it like this.
For less,
everybody's
for
got their
much less.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their bucket list band that they want to see. I'll just use Garth Brooks as an example.
And that's a
But
fine example.
That's a $500 ticket,
Right.
And at a venue like what's our new one here?
Dickies.
Dickies. Sorry, I went blank. You're going to spend $13, $14 for a beer. You're going to spend
16.
Is it 16?
16.
And then for a boat with the paper boat with the crappy chips, and then some
Nacho cheese sauce,
juice drizzled on top. You're going to pay $9, $10, $12 for that. I don't know. It's insane. It's astronomical for the amount of money that you would spend on that Garth Brooks experience. You could literally see a show every week in Fort Worth all year long, and it would equate to that.
That's
and
right.
you could have a great time.
That's right.
And you could see a lot more interesting bands.
Yeah,
And
probably drink a beer with somebody that was on stage,
Yeah.
at the bar after the show.
Talk to them. They're right there.
That's the point I was going to get to. Not to mention, you can have a beer. You can buy the guy a shot or buy him a beer and sit and have a conversation. And be like, hey, I really like that third song, and he can give you the whole story of the third song.
Or in your case, I hated it
right.
because that's what you do.
I really hated that one song you guys played.
You motherfuckers.
Y'all just need to go and cut that from your set. I don't know if y'all take criticism from the audience, but this is just a little thing I was thinking.
and now
You know what? Next show you play, I'm going to do that. Next show that you play that I'm not playing also.
that's a good opportunity for me to plug my next show then,
There you
because
go, yeah.
Guess
That's what it's
what?
about.
Guess what?
It's
You're playing bass.
That's right. I am.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm playing December 30th at O'Reilly's in Dallas. Full band experience with the one and only Richie on bass and Gavin Schufert on drums. And Richie, you got a show to plug too.
I do.
Yours is December 30th.
December 30th.
Mine's December 23rd.
The week before.
Literally 7 days before.
Right.
It's a very itchy Christmas at Southside Preservation Hall. That's the best name.
How did you come up with that name? It's so perfect.
He just works Itchy and Richie
I try to work Itchy into whatever I can.
Like thing you can think of.
It's so perfect.
It is. With the Traumatics headlining.
I'll be there.
Okay, if you're not, you're going to have multiple people mad at you.
I want people to come see my show at O'Reilly's on December 30th. But I'm really excited about the December 23rd show.
I think
it's going to be great.
I think it's going to be a really great show. The venue is great.
The bands are great. Like we got an awesome lineup.
Daryl Sellers is doing half his set on piano, half his set on guitar.
Take this as a compliment. Y'all are the suckiest band on the ticket.
That's right.
Taken as a compliment. That's on purpose.
That's right. That's right.
I made sure to book bands better than us.
You built this.
Yeah.
This is your show.
This is my show.
Congratulations.
We surround ourselves with people better than us.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, man.
So people have to suffer through an Itchy Richie set.
If you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
That's exactly. Right. Exactly. And that's why, and I'm excited about Big Heaven because every time we play with them, they bring it. So
They do. And we have not played with Traumatics yet.
And I'm pretty excited about that.
Doc Rock seems like an awesome dude. I've listened to his stuff on Spotify. I haven't been doing a live show.
And then he played at Poor David's before we played.
Right.
And
it
was
right.
Really good.
Right.
And try to find a Fort Worth radio station that's not playing his music right now.
Right.
I know, dude. Tell me about
it.
Yes.
Listening to the stuff he plays, and I think we're about the same age. I bet at some point, like when we were teenagers, we were driving around in whatever cars we had and had the same song on at the exact same time.
It's a weird thought, but yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah. I can just tell by the music he plays. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited to play that show on December 23rd at the Southside Preservation Hall. Tickets are $10, and they can be found where?
You can go on prekindle.com, or if you go to Facebook and search A Very Itchy Christmas, you'll find it.
Hey, this is incredible, man. Seriously, congratulations.
Thank you. We're very excited about it, and
give me flyers. I will help put them up all over Fort Worth.
I don't have anything printed out yet because the band is broke.
You got to put it on light poles. Spend the $80. Go to was it Staples? Go to Staples. Have them print them out.
There's a FedEx Kinko's right by my house.
Whatever's cheapest, man. We're not going for quality here. We just want the word out.
No, I know. I agree. But yeah, no, I haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to do it probably this week. So since we have a 2 weeks lead time.
Yeah. Well, if you need somebody to help.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let you know.
I've got tape and I've got a car. So
I've got a staple gun.
Okay. I've got
tape too.
I've got tape and a staple gun. I got a glue gun. What's up? I got a double tape gun.
I've got double-sided tape.
Yeah. Ooh. I could staple with both hands at the same time.
All right, you got me. I don't think I could do that. What are you going to hold the paper up with? Your nose? You're like,
multi-talented. I've got extra appendages you don't know about.
Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all doing this pilot here at the studio, and you don't know this yet. Maybe you do. Probably you don't. But more people are going to listen to your first episode than any other episode. It's always going to be in your top 10. So
well.
I'm really flattered that you did this here at the studio.
Until we get somebody like what's his name?
Ken Scott, the Ninja Turtle.
Ken Scott. Yeah.
That's
bro. I can hook
that's
that
Doc
up.
Rock's brother.
That is.
Yeah. Is that crazy? Like, is that a small world? I mean, did that happen for a reason?
It's a really badass community we got here in Fort Worth. That's what it is.
That's literally what it is.
And I actually picked up Ken Scott's book today, Teenage
Is that
Ninja
him doing the
to
kicks?
Mutant Turtle? Yeah, that's him down there.
Yeah, no, because he was the one in the costume.
I don't know if this part will make it on the podcast, but I'm looking at a picture of Raphael the Ninja Turtle with his sayas, and he's in a very ninja pose. But then also the guy that played Raphael doing, basically it's like the splits, except he's kicking straight up in the air.
His legs are at 180 degrees.
Yes,
one's on the ground, one's above his head.
And it's quite impressive. And we're playing a show with his brother. That's how we got to that. But there's a picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he has not actually been to this studio, but we're going to fix that real quick. I'm going to read the book. And Ken Scott has written a book about this.
You're going to do a podcast with him and
Yeah, here in the studio.
and Doc Rock, right? Yeah. Okay.
And I might get him to play on the new stage. So
Well, we brought guitars too. If you need some.
today,
Yeah.
Just in case, we didn't know what might happen.
He told me to bring my 12 string, so I brought my 12 string. It's for every inch of my penis. That's why I have a string for that.
did you notice how I almost threw up? I was trying to keep that laughter in, and I almost vomited.
I play a 13 string, just so your listeners know.
I play a 22 string. I hope you cut the fuck out of all this.
No, I'm keeping it. But should we close out your pilot?
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, it's devolved pretty
Because
far.
I bet your pilot, you're going to have liberties with editing and stuff. But this is
this is
Fort
not
Worth
making
Roots
it.
podcast. It's all inclusive, baby.
Yeah, we're trying to get it down
The
to
drinks
15
are covered.
minutes. Drinks are covered. Just come on by.
Reminds me, I have to re-download Audacity.
We have to close out your pilot.
Let's close out my pilot.
Yeah, let's do
Our
that.
pilot. Our pilot. It's
Before we get to
more
our
his.
personal to-do list.
Do you want me to put some music in with it, or you want to do that later?
I'll do it later.
Yeah,
I think we should write a theme song. That's a separate discussion we can have later.
I think you should do a theme song for Fort Worth Roots.
Besides the bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, but you have a
it's
pretty
been-
badass one.
Well, it's got a cool story, but you don't even like it when I bring up Nevesky, so...
No, I only don't like it just because I like giving you shit.
Wait,
That's all
is there-
that's
what
about.
is? Do I need to know?
It's the bassist from Blue October.
Matt Nevesky. That's who did... That's a sample from one of the songs that he did with his band,
Yeah.
Bones. And,
And
I was interviewing him, and at the very end, I played the shit that came standard on the Roadcaster. And since you'll be editing this later, I'll just go ahead and show you how terrible it is. There. All right. So this is what I used to use as the intro. Whatever. Right?
Yeah,
And then there was even. Is there an outro?
your new stuff's better.
No, there's okay. So I would use that for the intro and the outro, and so we're finishing up. Thanks, man, Matt. God, so great to have you on the show. Blah blah blah. All right, Fort Worth Roots. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. And I started playing this, and he's like, he's bobbing his head, and he's listening to it, and he goes, "Where did you get this?" And I was like, "Oh, it came with the machine." And he's like, you could use my music if you want. And I'm like, yeah. So he did that. He gave me, I think, 3 songs to choose from. And I think this is kind of the long version of it. But he gave me this to use. And I just kind of cut pieces out of it and did this isn't the full track, but there was intro and outro stuff taken from the full track. And I have not had an opportunity to talk to Matt because the stars have not aligned. He's always touring. He's always doing something.
Yeah.
And I'm in Fort Worth now.
So what are you wanting? What are you wanting from your track? I mean,
Can you make something that makes this sound like shit?
probably not. What?
You just shit on us inadvertently.
No, but I mean,
No, that was me.
No, it wasn't you. He was the one that was like, "No, we can't make anything sound good. We suck
I know,
balls."
but it's like, I mean, come on. I really put you on the spot there. I
did,
I
but
played Mozart, and I was like, can you do better?
well, not
not
exactly that.
Better.
It's just more like the music that you need for a podcast. I think what you have is perfect.
Yeah,
I've gotten to where I love it, and I feel like it's part of Fort Worth Roots. Like,
No, it is
Because
without
we
a
don't
doubt.
write. Well, he does.
I'd
I
love
do
to
not
use
write
local
bump, bump,
music.
bump, 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 which is that's kind of what yours does, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's more of a Richie thing, but you're talking about like jingle kind of writing at that point,
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying I'm a jingle writer? Is that
No,
no?
no, but like mine is very minor key. I guess is all like. That's a very punchy, upbeat kind of bump, bump,
well, and that's
bump, bump.
that's what I wanted. I wanted something punchy and upbeat.
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to articulate that at the time, but that's correct.
I think I mean, I think
great.
I don't think I'm
just saying,
able to match or better that.
Right. This is my point. Could we make something that sounded cool for your podcast? Yes, we could.
Well,
but do we want to like spend time doing it when it might make it 2% worse?
well, here's the thing. You just make a bomb ass track that, you know, maybe you make it punchy and upbeat, and you're like, use it if you want.
Dude, if you hear something that we have made that you are like,
well, regardless,
I want to use that.
Regardless, next time y'all are on the show, and I can even pipe in some music here if you want to. We did this last time. You send me a couple files.
Oh yeah,
and I'll play it with the episode. So
hey, this worked well for me. Though maybe there is. Am I still connected here?
Yeah, you are.
You want to play us a track?
Yep.
Which one is this?
Because I use this.
Is this just Slim or is this Itchy Richie?
No, this is Itchy Richie.
What song?
Yeah, set the audience up.
Hang on a second.
Don't go in dry, man.
No.
Don't never go in dry.
I'll get it lubed up in just a second. Like, fuck, kind of, you know.
Kind of operation you're running here?
No, I was when I was making the ad, you know, the kind of video ad. Oh, here we go.
The line. I like it.
Oh yeah, the line.
That should be on a commercial.
Well, play it. Don't tease them like that.
No, the intro. I'm just saying, as an intro, just as a clip, a small clip. This is fucking great.
By insurance.
All right. What's the name of the song? The Line?
Yeah.
Where can we find this?
Spotify. Apple Music.
But I want to buy it.
Amazon. iTunes.
iTunes?
Bandcamp.
Want to pay money for something you can have for free?
That's the best place to buy it.
ItchyRichie.com is the best place to buy it because it goes directly to the artist, and he'll email you and be like, "Oh my God, how dare you spend money on my music?"
So where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Down in the sand. Can't be bothered with lies. Can't be bothered with truth. It makes you hate. What's the sense in trying? Swimming up that stream.
I'm not singing anymore.
So where do we go from here?
I'm a whore. I can't help it.
Backed up in a corner of our own design. Not that it matters now. It didn't have to end up coming down to this. The mob won't stop the melee.
Dude, this is your song. You can't forget the lyrics.
If we could just
Yes,
get
I
our
can.
front man to remember the lyrics, it'd be a better band. Oh, this is pretty sick, though. We found this tone.
It's so nasty.
That's you back there, isn't it?
No, that's
that you?
Yeah.
It's me. Yeah.
Love
Rhythm
that.
guy.
So where do you draw the line? When's it gonna stop you dead within your tracks? Wise not to give up now. All invested in a losing hand. What's the sense in trying? May not end up that way.
I feel like we broke the fourth wall there.
We did a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, had you singing over you singing.
In the infinite universe, there's somebody that's going to listen to the background guitar work on that and be like,
That was
that guy.
There is really good.
He was holding it down.
You're no slouch on the guitar, my friend.
No, him. I'm talking about him.
No, it's
He's not a slouch on guitar.
It's not prominent in that one, but I mean that
Well,
sounds more.
but we're playing in unison. So.
Yeah, right. The whole thing, pretty much.
Excellent. All right, so I'm going to get a drum set. We already decided for the
Yeah,
new
definitely gonna
stage
get a
here
drum
at the
set.
studio, but I'm trying to decide which instrument I'm going to, at 37 years old, try to figure out how to play.
Bass.
Bass? What about drums? I heard a lot of people say we need drums in this town.
We do need drums in this town, but
You don't think I can do it?
I didn't say that.
You don't. He doesn't think I can do it, Slim.
I mean, fuck, I don't know that I can do it. I'm not sure if you can do it or not.
I don't know.
You saw my new band idea.
I'm still trying to figure out if I can do it.
Saw my new band idea the other day,
What?
right? We were talking about, it was in the band group chat, and I forgot. Jeff said something. I was like, all right, here's the new band that we need to form. Me and Coco on synthesizers, you on bass, Jeff on drums, and Brent on vocals. I'm just saying.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
You could do way worse than me and Coco on synth.
Brent doesn't know it yet, but me and him are going to do some things together.
Oh, he knows it now.
Tell me about Brent.
Brent's the bass player for Jeff Zero in his own private universe.
Oh, okay. We've met.
Yeah, you've met him.
Yeah.
And
he's the artist.
No, that's Coco.
Oh, okay.
that's Coco.
Got it mixed up.
But Brent is, out of our group of friends, secretly the best songwriter.
He is the best songwriter, and he's
Like,
but he does not write Jeff Zero kind of songs, and he does not write Itchy Richie songs. You know what he really kind of writes? He writes Slim Pickens songs. It's true. It's true. Look, I'm not lying. Like the shit that he writes, it's kind of like. It's a little bit like I don't want to be him, but I want some of a sprinkle of his shit in mine. And I'm working on my EP, but I think for the second EP, I'm going to try to steal the song from, not steal, but he'll get all the writing credits and everything.
Right.
But I think I want to do one of his songs, like
That's
his
great,
happy,
man.
upbeat stuff. I don't write happy, upbeat.
No,
Very
it's
well,
perfect because you see what he's writing, and you can visualize what that sounds like.
No, I mean he sends us demos, and I mean like
and his are
our
fucking
band
iPhone
is like
demos.
motherfucker. Like this dude is like low key the best dude in the band.
Me and
like,
Pryor
we're
are
all
texting each
trying,
other.
and he's working at a fucking Kroger meat market or some.
Yeah.
Well, he works in a grocery store. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kroger.
No,
Yeah.
not in a bad way. He's doing fine, but he's easily the best songwriter among us.
I really think so, and doesn't even know it.
It's so oversaturated right now. Like there's people recording in their closets at home, and
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not
Good. Wait,
not
we're
how
not.
I do it.
there's nothing
Hey,
wrong.
we're not
with
not
that.
oversaturated with good shit. We're oversaturated with closet
That's
recordings.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're not
how do you
oversaturated
hunt
with
through all the
good.
shit, and then
Well, that's what this, because when we do this, people like Jaybirds come knocking.
Mm-hmm.
People like me, Motorskirt, are like, well, let's they put a fucking thing out. Let's talk to those dudes. I mean, this is us getting connected.
incredible artists, and I just want. I'm right here in the middle of it, and physically here in Fort Worth, which has a budding artist community that I think it kind of has its ups and downs here in Fort Worth.
Oh yeah.
This is the home of a lot of different types of music sprung up here out of Fort Worth, and
People forget
huge
that
history
Fort
here.
Worth is the home of the Toadies, which is a pretty big
Huge
deal.
band, yeah.
And
But really, nobody looks to this area for music. They look here for fucking quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no,
but
that's
it's
true.
becoming this. It's becoming this thing where people are.
because
Because there's people like you that are out here like fucking
That's
connecting.
true.
Like think about this. Do you remember where we met? Where I met you?
I want to say singer songwriter with
That's
Joe
right.
Savage.
That is right. That is right. I was thinking about that earlier today. We met because of Joe Savage. I don't know. I've seen Joe maybe once since then, but I follow him on Facebook, whatever.
Busy dude.
He's a busy dude. His calendar is booked. When he posts, I'm like, holy shit, dude. How do you do all those
Grinding,
dates?
dude.
Right. He's a grinder. Yeah. But I just thought about how far we've come, I was coming to do this podcast today, and since I met you, we've put out an album. I've started doing my own thing, launched kind of my own deal. We now have an idea for a podcast. You've done your 100th episode. You were not even close to that. You know, you're maybe, I don't know, 2/3 of the way there.
Probably somewhere around 60 or 70, yeah.
Long story short is, like, yeah, I mean, you're here right smack dab in the middle of it, like, and really, you are the one of the main people shining a spotlight on the cool stuff that's happening here. So
yeah, and I always do this. I always pull it back and try to point my finger in other directions to highlight other people. But the Funky Town podcast with Jeffrey Lord, that guy is, I mean, he's the man. He is.
Yeah, he is.
And, you know, we talked about this earlier off the recording, but, you know, just when is it okay to play people's music? And no shade on Jeffrey. I love what he's doing. But I need to have the artist in front of me if I'm going to use their music, I feel like, or at least permission.
yeah,
And so, you know, there's a lot less music on this show, and it was never meant to be a musician-centric podcast or anything like that. But there's just been a good collaboration effort between local artists and podcasting.
Yeah.
And so I've even talked, and I won't list any names on this, but I've got podcaster friends that are like, God damn it, our show is not supposed to be about music, but they have artists on at least once a month.
I'm going to go ahead.
They can't help it because they're everywhere.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Funky Panther.
I'm not going to say yes or no. Yes, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Anyway, but some people, you know, because we don't want to dip into something that somebody else is doing. And Jeffrey Lord does such a good job with the Funky Town podcast, or excuse me, yeah.
No, you're right.
I mix them up sometimes, so I have to correct myself. But
no,
yeah, and so anyway, I'm not the premier expert on local music. I just want to make sure we're clear on that. But
you don't have to be though.
I mean, appreciate getting in there and talking to the
person that
creators
gets out there
and
and actually fucking does the work ends up being the expert. You know, you're out there, you're doing the work, and I mean, look, you know, maybe these podcasts aren't supposed to be about music. But if there's artists that are like,
I don't lean away from it. I don't.
Right, that's the thing. It's just like lean into it. I mean, that's like the market maybe saying something to the podcasting community, like, hey.
I think what I meant to say is I don't lean away from it.
Right. You're leaning into it.
No,
even
I'm
a
not.
little bit.
No, I'm not.
You got us on.
I've got my friends, and
your friends are becoming musicians.
Well, my friends are musicians. Yeah. And then I get emails and messages on Facebook and Instagram, and people wanting to come on the show. And then I listen to their music. I'm like, oh my God, they're incredible. Let me get them on the show.
Right.
And before you know it, 50% of our content. It's incredible local musicians, and now I've got a full-on rehearsal studio behind us.
Well, that's the thing
for musicians.
But that's the big thing is Fort Worth has this huge pool of talent that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, and that's what's great about the podcasts shining light. That's what was great about. We won a Lordy. That's what's great about winning a Lordy.
Right.
That means. I know it was a
means
joke
as much
award.
as you want it to mean, and I think it's incredible that he did that.
It was a joke award, technically, I think, and that's fine. But like the amount of people that have witnessed us since then, is significant.
It's substantial, yeah. And for our listeners that don't know what a Lordy is. Jeffrey Lord from the Funky Town podcast was dissatisfied, as many people were, with the Fort Worth Weekly's presentation of the best of 2022.
Yep.
And so he took it upon himself to assign new categories, and the categories were hilarious. But anyway, he brought more attention to more local artists and more categories, and he kind of filled in the gap. You know,
he really did.
And that, I mean, it's because oh no, what
party
have you
foul,
done? Small
yellow card, yellow card.
No, but because of the Lordies, we learned about
Jigsaw Paul.
Jigsaw Paul.
Tell me more about that. That's a rap. influence here.
He's a rapper
in Fort Worth.
and he's
And he
DFW.
wears a mask.
He wears a luchador mask.
Yeah.
So he probably underneath that mask looks a lot like Richard Keller.
except black.
Well, I would, because why would you cover your face if you're beautiful?
No, I don't know. I
Probably
think
beautiful,
he
but
probably does.
I think he has another career.
Yeah, I think he's probably got a career
that his face depends
Right.
on a little bit.
Right.
Government guy.
Maybe.
Is that where your mind goes? You're an old army guy.
Yeah, that's why.
What?
No, I mean, look, no, he could be like the CEO of some company,
Ah, he's into UFO shit.
No,
he's
not.
No. Well,
He's-
he could be.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
the
rap
lizard
about
man.
He's more in. He's more into things to put on breakfast items and how to relate that to life as a black man in the USA.
What are you?
His life is like smothered pork chops. It's all gravy.
Okay, we obviously missed a few steps.
No, you missed a few steps.
Well,
We're on the
All
same
the
page.
listeners.
Well,
Are we
they all
still?
did-
I was not sure if we were still
Oh
recording. or
yeah,
not,
what are you
so-
kidding me?
I don't
All right,
think
well,
Andrew
I'm
ever
gonna
stops
look. I'm just
recording.
gonna play it then.
What do you got?
Powerbomb.
I'm gonna play Powerbomb.
All right, let's do it.
All right. I
Don't
mean,
sue me, dude.
No, because
Don't do it.
if
I don't want to edit. While he's doing this, will you tell me a funny joke about your mom in a casino?
I don't have any jokes.
Tell me facts.
I got facts.
Go for it.
You ready to know how you get your drinks faster?
Okay.
You tip $20 right off the bat.
Why don't I just go buy a drink? If I'm going to be
No,
tipping
because
$20 for a
if you
drink.
tip $20, you get like 10 drinks in an hour.
that was something I wanted to ask
There's only
you.
one way to check that math, and it's going to cost me $20.
Yep.
Jesus.
What's a definite? I gotta edit this part. Kind of signal for you. Dead silence. Is
For
probably,
me?
it's probably one of them.
Oh, dead silence. Yeah, you don't want to sit there for 30 seconds looking at each other.
Yeah, this isn't the Russ Martin show.
Right.
Yeah, they did that a lot.
God, Dead Air was
God rest
most
his
of their
soul.
content, yes.
No, seriously, you would turn it to the Russ Martin show, and you'd be like,
And you just sit
"Is
there
my
being
radio working?"
like, something break?
It'd be like,
and, then,
what?
and then all of a sudden you'd hear like,
Well, it was a 4-hour broadcast, right?
yeah.
3 or 4 hours. And
All
this
right.
this was before podcasting, so everybody's
This
just
is a radio show.
Yeah,
Russ Martin show, dude.
It's
It's
one of
got
the
to
most
be
popular local shows
Probably
there
real
was.
popular over for long night haulers.
the only thing that probably
well, it was afternoon drive and then it was mornings.
the only
Or
thing that
started as mornings and went to afternoon drive.
the only thing that beat out Russ Martin was the ticket.
Well, yeah.
I think
That's Jigsaw Paul, by the way.
Jigsaw Paul. Okay, he's wearing a luchador mask.
All right,
Jigsaw
am I
Paul.
connected here? If I play
Yeah,
this,
you're
is it
good.
gonna,
I'm
all
gonna
right, here we go.
shut
Power
Richard
Bomb.
up.
This is the best song on this album.
Jigsaw Paul. Jigsaw Paul. Your voice, Winston, you gave me another one, baby. You gave me another track, man. Yo, you can catch me half-baked, enjoying cookies at your local buffet. Cause OG cuz bought the fuzz because of his gunplay. Say, AK-47 bullets aiming at you at the BBQ. Who the fuck drunk all the jungle juice? Niggas can't have shit. Fried bologna sandwiches, bad kids, Mars black men, limited edition Jordans just to act rich. The 25th is when the food stamps hit. See my whole community shoplifting at Walmart, driving away in a handicap operated shopping cart. It's over before it starts. Blowing gas like a fat man's fart. Weed pipes getting clogged like a black man's heart. Apologies, I meant arteries. My white friend is content on saying the N-word like he's darker than me. Stuart Little and Steve Urkel conversing about cheese. Only thing that matters to the family. Honor amongst thieves, your daughter can come see. The Kango hat that matched my shoes made from two barely new baby kangaroos. Ride till I die, what you banging, boo? GG, Cripple Blood, come hang with the goon. Watch Dragon Ball Z right after Sailor Moon. WWE Monday Night Raw is coming on soon. This rapper got a mask on a wedding, got danger doom. Middle fingers what I'm rolling to. If you're so ready, best believe I am smoking. to the top and conquer from ramen spread, sugar bread, fried bologna. Yeah, my life is like smothered pork chops. Fucker, all gravy. You thought I wouldn't make it to the top and conquer from ramen spread, sugar bread, fried bologna. Salivating slurps, neighborhood watches the watch. Diamonds dug out of Sierra Leone dirt. It costs an African child an arm and a leg. It hurts to know what's on my neck will lead to having a price on my head. Will I die? Who knows? Voice Winston has been seen in many zip codes. Little be known, Jigsaw Paul is labeled a schizo. Inhaling indigo, indoors. Tea parties, bitch, fuck you mean. That's what friends are for. Pockets broken like Matt Hardy. A twist of fate brought me cake, bakes. Marijuana burns slow like molasses. Blunt passes, THC crystals resemble dandruff. I roll big L niggas, ass puff. I'm notorious. You ain't hungry, nigga? That means more for us. My life is like smothered pork chops. All gravy. You thought I wouldn't make it to the top and conquer from ramen spreads, sugar bread, fried bologna. My life is like smothered pork chops. All gravy. You thought I wouldn't make it to the top and conquer from ramen spread, sugar bread, fried bologna. My life is like smothered pork chops. All gravy. You thought I wouldn't make it to the top and conquer from ramen spread, sugar bread, fried bologna.
I mean,
Yeah, I
offering.
guess why not? Why not? Yeah, if there's another one of these, I guess get one of these. Are we recording? What are we recording for? Who are we talking
I think at this
for?
point it doesn't matter.
This is B footage, huh?
This is all B-roll.
All right.
This will be a heavily edited episode, but y'all just go ahead and do the thing.
Rich, do you get to come on this show without it being heavily edited?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Is it?
I think
is it-
every time I'm on, he has to be like, "Oh shit."
Is it? See, you just did it again. Is it
No,
the
he
language?
doesn't edit. No, it's not. Well, it's the language, but it's not the language you would think.
Is it is it the content? Because
It's the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about beaver anus last time I was on.
So this is another part. Just going to make a little note in the
Beaver anus.
yeah.
For
cut
the
this
second
out.
time, you can cut this out.
You can cut this out. We're going to talk about something you can't cut out in 3, 2, 1. And
So December 23rd at Southside Preservation Hall, Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations is playing. Headlining is the Traumatics, but we also have support by Big Heaven and Daryl Sellers.
yeah.
If you don't go to that show, it's on you because it's an excellent show.
I
And
think
if
that-
this comes out after the show happens, you missed a great show.
We
and
haven't
need to come see our
talked.
next one.
We haven't talked about Southside Preservation Hall and what it is and what it does and why we're playing there.
Okay, so
I say we.
what do you mean you say we?
I mean,
You're playing there
I hear
too.
I hear that Itchy Richie band has a pretty good guitarist, but
Rhythm guitarist is pretty good.
He's pretty. He's slightly above average.
He's an above average dude across the
Right.
board.
He's
Penis size
a
and all.
he's a really great dude, and he's an above average guitarist. But why are we playing at Southside Preservation Hall?
Because Southside Preservation Hall is trying to fill the gap that Mass left. Unfortunately, Mass had to close down.
Mass did have to close down. May she rest in peace. But Southside Preservation Hall is not just a music venue that's trying to make money on music. I mean, it's trying to rent itself out for all kinds of stuff, right?
I mean, their primary source of revenue is, weddings. Because it's this cool old. In fact, I think I was there for a wedding. I could be wrong.
But it's not strictly a music venue.
No, not at all.
You wouldn't have had a wedding at Mass.
I mean, no, probably not.
Yeah. Well, and I think the idea is how do we keep places like Mass? How do we as musicians? I mean, Lord knows nobody's making any goddamn money on any of this.
I mean, the venues are the only place making money, and that's just because they get booze sales,
Right,
And,
and I'm sure-
and you have to hope that the bands bring alcoholics.
So
I mean,
Southside Preservation Hall probably makes way more money booking a wedding than they do booking Richie and the Traumatics and Big Heaven and Daryl Sellers.
so that's the thing. That's why they're experimenting with it because
So we need to fucking bring it.
yes.
Well,
we need to bring
The people that are going to go there to see you play in the first place. By the way, do they sell alcohol there?
So we have a bartender that will be on site. So yes,
And that's a huge expense between the alcohol you had to purchase.
no, it's not. Because we have they have contractors that they use, and so everything they have to make money by selling booze.
And this is the 23rd, right?
Yep, December 23rd.
Well, this won't be out then, but it will be something.
We will know that it was an amazing show,
right.
And
but I'm going to promote the shit out of it.
And you need to have Mandy Hand on.
I didn't realize this was your show. We'd been talking about getting involved in some kind of big show.
Most shows that I put on are my shows.
I did not know that.
Well,
That's what we're trying to get
I didn't
to.
know you were a promoter.
Well, you kind of have to be in this day and age.
Yeah.
You have to.
So
that's the best way to book a venue is to have the whole night booked out.
And if you want to get shit done and make sure that the other bands are on the level and good and that you synergize well with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's part of the thing about this show. Like, I mean, we've played with Big Heaven before.
Such a
We've
good
played
lineup.
with Daryl Sellers before. We have not played with Traumatics before, but they're in the scene, and that's a band that we want to be connected to.
So good.
We know we're not going to regret
Yeah.
it. It's going to be. Here's the deal. I think we're going to have the best show in DFW that night.
Yeah.
I just, in all seriousness, I think that, like, I've looked, there's nothing really competing with what we do. And even if they were competing, we're playing earlier. So
I'd call you on your shit if I thought you were wrong, but that is such a good
I think it's a
lineup.
solid lineup. I think it's going to be a great show.
You did really good. You
Yeah.
did really good.
I have my moments. I will pat myself on the back. But
but the thing I was going to bring up, it's not necessarily you guys. Obviously, you're going to show up. You're going to give it 110%. You're going to bring it for sure.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going to save the music scene.
well, no.
What's going to save the music scene is a change in social behavior, like people getting out, people understanding that, yeah, Garth Brooks, okay, got it. And I keep using him for an example because I saw that those tickets were like $500.
No,
a seat.
and that's
Crazy. But we got to get people on board with the idea that, man, you can come have a great fucking time at a local music event.
Well, that's
And you're not going to have to spend the amount of money that you're going to spend at Dickies to watch from the nosebleed section as this speck of a man performs for you. And you spend the whole time looking at a screen. You know?
but that's the other thing that people don't take into account is that if you support your local scene, you're supporting who you will later maybe want to pay $200-$300 to see.
Yeah.
Like you're supporting the guys that are hopefully one day you'll pay $200 a ticket to see them and go like I've been watching them since they were playing in bars. And they have a personal investment in it.
I've got it right there. Fort Worth's Rock and Roll Roots.
I have that book. I haven't read it yet.
By Mark Nobles. Read
Yeah,
it. And
I
it
haven't
will
read it
blow
yet.
your mind because back then, this is happening in the 60s and 70s.
Is that where you got the podcast name from?
No, that's
I mean, this is Rock and Roll Roots.
Yeah.
Fort Worth's Rock and Roll Roots.
I
This
know.
is Fort Worth Roots pod.
You'd
Dude,
be
this was meant to
surprised.
be a music podcast.
you would be
Fun
surprised
story,
how
I traded him an Itchy Richie shirt for the copy of that book.
that's awesome. Mark's a great guy. Mark
He
Nobles is the author of Fort Worth's
I got some
Rock
merch
and
for
Roll
you
Roots.
before I leave.
But anyway, there's a kind of an underpinning to that story for that period of history, and inside of it is a story about how the Rolling Stones came to Fort Worth. I think it was the Rolling Stones. It might have been somebody else. Don't quote me on this. But they showed up, and they were supposed to have the big local Fort Worth band open for them. And I can't remember the name of that band. But they were hot shit, man. People were packing out roller rinks. What they would do is at night, these roller rinks would become venues for musicians. I mean, they'd cram 500-600 people in those things or more. And, they'd sell out. They couldn't get another body in those rooms. Back then, the fire marshal was a little more liberal, I guess. I don't know. A little more lenient.
Probably just less to maintain.
Maybe. But anyway, the Rolling Stones, I think that's the band, comes to town, and they had already set up. They were going to have this local Fort Worth band open for them, right? Well, over here at what's where Amplified did their Amplify 817
Ridgely.
day? No.
Oh, 817 Day,
Yeah.
Will Rogers.
Okay, so they're at Will Rogers. They got the Rolling Stones there. They're supposed to have this local band open for them. And at the last minute, the manager for the Rolling Stones goes, "We don't want this fucking local band opening for us. We're just, okay, so nix them. They're not invited anymore." Real last minute, like maybe the night of. And so the night goes on. 100 people show up to watch the Rolling Stones. And right across the street, there's a roller rink. And it's got hundreds, if not close to 1,000 or more people. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to see that band. They wanted to see the Fort Worth band and the Rolling Stones. But whenever it came time to decide who they're going to go see, they went and they spent their money down the street to see
Right.
the local band.
Right.
Now, that's the kind of thing that's going to keep places like Mass alive. But it doesn't matter, unfortunately, that you guys are absolutely going to bring it. I know. It's going to be an excellent show. It's going to be the best one that night. But we have to find a way to convince the public that,
Well, and-
hey, this is awesome. Come hang out. You know?
Well, and that's where it becomes hard because
Well, you got to put on a show. Like,
well, yeah,
I mean,
but that's the thing. We put on a show already, but like, how do you get people can get entertainment without leaving their pocket?
Spotify
nowadays.
ruined music.
No, Spotify didn't.
Pandora
YouTube.
ruined
No.
music.
No,
YouTube
no, no,
ruined
no.
music.
I don't know.
Fuck
Video
all
killed
that.
the
I'm
no,
sorry.
no. Video killed the
No,
radio star
fuck all
right at the
y'all.
beginning.
No.
No, fuck you. Video killed the radio star. It was the first fucking music video on MTV for a goddamn reason. And on top of all of that, YouTube has killed the MTV star.
Look, man,
It has.
the pendulum's swinging. Like, things are changing clearly, obviously. You know, like that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, listen, if somebody is listening to this right now, they're listening to it on their mobile device while they're on their way to fucking work, or they're working and they're needing some dudes to bullshit in the background.
Yeah.
Okay?
You don't think anybody's having sex to this?
Probably not having
There's
sex.
a-
Probably
people
not having
fuck
sex.
to my
with-
voice
but
a
guess
lot.
what? If
Listen
you
to
want
my
somebody to
voice.
come out to a live show, guess what you're asking somebody to do? They've got to leave their house.
I know.
No, exactly.
They got to pay money.
That's not
they've got
popular.
they've got to buy overpriced beers, okay? And we keep talking about like, oh, Garth Brooks, $500, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you know, that's not the customer that we're going for. They are going to see Garth Brooks for the same
Right.
reason I went to see The Smile.
Yeah.
Because it's these two big name fucking dudes. It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad.
It's an experience.
You know, yes, I'm going to see what they did. But that being said, after having gone to seeing that, I'm like, holy shit, I've had a way better time for a lot less money and heard just as good of music.
And had a better time.
Yes, by going out to a place like Lola's, you know, seeing some local acts. Like, literally, I could be ordering a fucking beer, and the guy that was playing the song that was on stage could be next to me buying this beer, and I can chat that guy up.
Grab
If you want to do
his
that with Tom York, guess what? You got to buy the primo package, and then you got to go back after the show, you know,
butt. And you might get
And it's a very
Yeah.
sterile
Shake.
environment where you maybe get to shake his hand.
Maybe.
And
Right. No, I actually so I had some buddies that did go back for that, and one of them like got a picture that the security did not, well, they made them delete it, but they're like, well, they can't keep me from undeleting it, you know, because it on goes that delete folder. But yeah, look, long story short is, look, we want people spending their money on local Fort Worth bands and at local Fort Worth venues, not at, you know, places that, you know, have these, you know, huge touring acts. I mean, that's great. Go see those guys. But you could probably have a better time if you did something that was connected a little more locally. But those things don't get advertised. Those things don't get on people's
no
radars.
money behind it.
I got something I got to say, or it's going to burn the back of my head, brains straight out the back. It's probably the first time I've ever said negative things about a guest that's been on the show's establishment. And I would love to have him back on so we could talk about this. But I finally went to the new venue, the Tim Love venue. What is it?
Yeah.
Tannehill's.
Yeah.
Tannehill's.
I went there a few weeks ago.
Okay. I was super excited.
Yeah.
And
Who'd you see?
it's either Jack or Josh Weathers.
Josh Weathers.
Josh Weathers, right. A friend of mine, Stephanie Daniels, she wanted to go see this guy. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, so we go see. Hey, you can't. This is a podcast. Anyway.
Well, we can't talk about that on podcast?
So me and Steffi, we go and we watch Josh Weathers, who, by the way, is a phenomenal artist. And hope to one day get him on the show. Incredible performance.
Is he a local guy?
He is. I think he's a local guy. I think
Local-ish?
he at least started here.
I've played. No, he started here because I played with the drummer from Josh Weathers in another band. That's a whole story for
Yeah, let's circle back to that.
But great, Josh Weathers is incredible. It is such an undesirable location. Like I was
You mean Tannehill?
Yes, I was so disappointed because I've had Tim Love on the show.
I went
and
out.
I wanted to
episode
support
100.
it, I wanted to say good things, but
I've
I haven't
seen
been able to.
exactly one show, and if I had to give a review, it would be pretty similar. We went to see Shovels and Rope there. It's a duet.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to the style of music that I want to be playing, and I was excited to go see a new place. And we were stage right, so if you're facing on the left side.
I remember this story.
And there was this buzzing coming out of the fucking speaker, and I'm like, what? I don't know. Like, somebody does, like, something's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to get it fixed. We're going to hang out. Somebody's going to hear it. There's
All
an
night.
engineer.
All night.
So I stood there for, 3 or 4 songs, and it didn't get fixed. And I was like, well, goddamn. Like, I don't know. Like, they can't hear it on stage, I don't think.
No, they probably
Surely
can't
not.
because it's just
Because they didn't
monitor
act like
mix.
they could, right? Because I felt like if they could, they would have.
yeah.
They'd have been like, "Oh, we got to fix something." So we went over to the other side of the stage. Sounds fine.
Oh shit.
So there was evidently not like an engineer. There was not like a sound engineer for that venue to fix those kinds of things on the fly, and it was a little like, damn, that's like, look, I'm an amateur. That's a business that seemed like they had amateur hour going on.
Yeah.
For a legit touring band.
And to be fair on the technical side of it, it's a brand new venue. They just opened up. They had so many problems.
That same review I had read online, somebody complaining about the exact same problem.
Well, it's rational,
like
though.
a month before. And I know it's still very new,
Now,
but it's like,
I will say at the
get your
Josh
shit
Weathers concert, which, we went to fairly recently, I think 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. Yeah, I just can't remember. It was November. So, yeah, like 3 weeks ago. But it sounded great. The sound system was up to par. It's just the way the security shuffled us through the room, and like you could not go back. If you left, you could not go back in.
Yeah.
There were just a lot of little things like that, and I'm just not used to being treated like that. And aside from that, we're standing in just a concrete room. And I get it. You can pay a premium price, and you can probably find
Go
a chair
upstairs.
for an extra
Yeah. Go
20,
to the
30
rail.
bucks. I don't know. But it was just an open room, concrete floors, and it didn't feel good. I don't know.
It looks like
it was bad vibes.
it seems like a space that could get things figured out and put on great shows there. Shovels and Rope put on a good show.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting acts that,
We're not
worth
playing there.
money going to see.
Yeah.
But they've got some things to figure out.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a new business, so, give it some time. I guess it's disappointing because this guy has some rep, right?
Well, he's definitely got some rep because he's been on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, just like you guys. Just like you guys.
So
like us.
we're on the same level then.
Exact same.
Yes, we're on the same level as Tim Love.
Anyway.
He should be buying flatbreads from me.
He should.
No, dude. He goes.
Excuse me,
He
but
can make his own.
excuse me, but Richard Keller sells flatbreads. Richie sells T-shirts.
That's
That's
right,
true.
baby.
Richie sells T-shirts, stickers, and badges.
Where can we get those T-shirts and badges?
ItchyRichie.com.
Okay, it'll be in the show notes. No, I don't want to say I'm extremely honored that I got a chance to sit with one of Fort Worth's most elite businessmen, and he was excellent. It was a great episode.
I thought you were talking about me for a second.
Say what?
I'll talk good about you later. But yeah, I was really hyped. I was excited to see this new Tannehill thing. We've been waiting for months, and then I go and I see a show, and it felt cold and impersonal.
Their biggest problem is they haven't booked Richie and the Burning Sensations. I'm putting that out there.
Yeah.
It's the biggest problem.
Well, and another thing is, aren't they partnered with Live Nation? Isn't that a thing?
And hence why we haven't played there.
Right.
Fucking book us.
You don't think
for some local touring act.
They did.
They better bring their shit, because I know one thing's for sure. We're going to bring ours.
They did do a recent...
We're going to bring our shit.
We have one of the best rhythm sections in Dallas Fort Worth.
I know Bency Jones and a bunch of other local bands got a chance to play out there just recently. So they are doing stuff with the local community.
And Bency Jones?
Bency Jones, yeah.
That's what I said. I said Bency Jones.
Thought you were checking me, fool.
No.
Check yourself.
No. We were supposed to play with him in Denton.
Uh-oh. Don't be talking shit about my Bency.
I'm not talking shit about him. It's not him. It was the venue.
You watch your step.
It was the venue.
Oh.
Wasn't him. Trust me. It was not him, because we were excited to play with him. He was excited to play with us. I was going to play bass for him.
Wait, this is a Denton venue that shall not be named?
Oh, you name it on this show. Come on.
Fuck it. Graffiti pasta.
Yeah.
We can always edit it out. I don't give a shit.
You can.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if
this
cord gets tripped, we lose the whole file.
Motherfucker, I'm paying attention. Okay, anyways.
Right.
Are you being serious when you say that?
Yes, if it loses power, it will
the power cord
everything.
keeps wrapping around my leg.
We lose 2 hours.
It's not my fault.
It would definitely be your fault.
So I've already...
What are you going to do? Blame the shiny pants?
Yes.
So we're back on the air. Richie, he tripped over the wire.
Okay.
We're re-recording 2 hours.
We had a 2 hour.
We've already talked about this.
Throw me under the bus for some shit that didn't happen.
Don't expect us to be happy about anything that we're going to be talking about, but
Never.
Here's what we hit.
Here are the high
Anyways.
notes. There was a pilot. Anyway, we decided we're not even going to do the podcast anymore.
We're just canceling the whole thing. It's going to total fuck up. Major mistake on our part.
Bency Jones. God damn it. Shut the fuck up.
Bency Jones. All right.
Bency Jones was supposed to headline the show in Denton, but the show, they didn't provide a sound guy, and I couldn't get a quote less than like $400, and I was like,
Jesus.
So we canceled the show.
Oh my God.
But
Bency mad at you? Does he think it's your fault?
I hope not.
Why the fuck do they not have they got shows there all the time. Why do they not have their own sound guy?
You have to and I was warned. I was warned by other artists. Like, Hen of the Cox was just like, hey, by the way, if you're going to play a show there, because I wanted them to play the show too. And they were like, they're like, oh, we can't that night. They had another show.
They play after us, right?
No, Hen and the Cox is bigger than we are.
That's what I'm saying. They play after us.
Oh, yes. Yeah, right. But definitely. Yeah. No, that's why Bency Jones would have been our headliner.
All right.
Because Bency Jones is a bigger name than Richie and the Burning Sensations. And for good reason, because I don't care if Ben hears this. They're pretty badass.
They are pretty badass.
And
you guys are awesome, but
they're really good.
Bency Jones, he brings it. He'll crank it up to a level 59, and other artists might get hurt.
That's true. Because we can only get to level 16.
I don't know what you just channeled there, but that needs to be on your podcast.
Dude, it's a video. It's a video that Bency Jones did to support or promote
whatever he did.
The Amplify 17
the bit. Yeah.
He did a whole bit, and it was so fucking hilarious.
Well, your version of it.
Is it him on the train?
Save that.
Was it the one of him on the train?
Put it in one of your banks.
Yeah.
That you can switch to at any time to pull that back out.
So
that was pretty good.
So good. He does it so much better. It was incredible.
You hang on to that.
We've talked about it on the show several times just because it was so crazy.
It was good. That was a good episode, by the way.
With Bency?
Oh, of course.
Oh, and we did a quick one, man. Like, he was...
that was the same day we were on.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
The day we played Jay
Oh, right.
Gilligan's.
Yeah. Okay.
I did a whole slew of recordings. I didn't do recordings in the studio for like a month because we did so many recordings at the BC Save thing. It's ridiculous.
That was a fun time. That was really cool. I wish we
had
could have
such a
stayed
good time.
longer, but
Man, I was...
we had shows to play.
Okay, so they did good. They had a great turnout. But I couldn't believe that half the city didn't show up. You got dogs. You got these beautiful
Border
puppies.
puppies. Yeah.
You got beers,
And what happened?
burgers. That's half the city didn't show up. I don't know. It was just ridiculous.
It was pretty well attended when we got there. We got there early.
We had a better turnout for the podcast bullshit.
Well, I wasn't there the whole day, so maybe.
Yeah.
The podcast thing, we had some people out.
Dude.
There may have been 5 or 6 Itchy Richie fans created that day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was
Mostly
a good
because
ass
of
time.
your shiny pants.
It's mostly the pants.
Man, I think there's a lot of opportunity to grow though. In terms of getting people out to those kinds of events, it's like, Fort Worth has like, I don't know, a couple million people in it. Right?
It's just
2.5
shy.
to 3.
It's just shy. I'm going to look it up.
I just think it gets absorbed into the
DFW
Dallas
zeitgeist.
what's going on scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is stupid because Fort Worth is way better. That's right. I said it, Dallas. Go fuck
Okay,
yourself.
so as of
It is way better and
2021,
cheaper too.
this is
It's
going to
cheaper.
blow your mind. Fort Worth population, 2021, 935,508.
Not even a million?
Well, but okay,
It's-
count the
it's grown.
the things
It's definitely
outs-
grown.
The areas outside of it, same as Dallas does.
But we're technically in Fort Worth proper,
yeah.
you and I, where we live.
technically.
This is the
And we
11th,
count.
11th largest county in the United States. I think.
That makes sense.
I think that's
It
right.
makes total sense.
It's
Wow.
big. It's real big.
Then that's good. I like that for our chances as artists,
Yeah.
as podcasters, as people that are promoting the arts. I mean, look, this is the thing. Like, seriously, I feel like Fort Worth is like totally overshadowed by the things that are going on in Dallas.
I agree.
But we got it's a different vibe, and that's what people don't get. That's what I didn't get until I moved here. Like, I thought I was moving to Dallas. When I moved to Fort Worth and realized what Fort Worth was, so much happier. Just,
Dude, I don't even feel the heat from Dallas. Like I'm completely. It's not even
anymore.
a thought in my mind.
it
Well,
should
not anymore.
be.
We have so much good shit going on here.
I don't.
We
I
should
don't
think
wanna
of
go to
Dallas as our frenemy.
That,
Like, I mean, look, do we want to like
Do we wanna play shows
pull
in
good
Dallas?
music from Dallas over into Fort Worth? Yeah, absolutely. Do we?
but I would think that's an unfair exchange. I think there's more. I would argue there's more good music coming out of Fort Worth.
Yeah,
than
but
there is
we
Dallas.
are the good-willed Fort Worthians that are willing to pull in somebody that's outside Fort Worth.
I lean kind of towards Richard's idea. I don't know. I don't think we need them. Fuck them.
No, but no, I think I see where Slim's going.
Hey,
I think I get it.
Look, they've got a population size that you can't say fuck them.
Well, so does Boston, but fuck them too.
Yeah, look, we're in a much different place.
Have I? I think
Boston,
I've had a
but-
few beers.
Yeah,
Hey, Boston,
Boston, fuck you. Hey, Boston, there's something you didn't know from Fort Worth, Texas. Go fuck yourself.
go back yourself, you fucking fuckers.
If that's not a sound bit, holy shit. Anyway,
No, I'm kind of into Boston sports right. Well, not Boston sports. I'm into the Celtics.
all I'm
right
saying
now.
is-
Well,
That's
that's
it.
fine because
Fort Worth provides me with everything I need. Dallas is right there, and I never think of Dallas. I really don't. When I said I don't feel the heat from Dallas, that's what I was talking about. They have no influence over me. I don't care.
And
Right.
They're
as
not
someone-
putting on shows I want to see. They're not doing anything I want to be a part of.
Well,
I don't care.
as someone that grew up on that side of the Metroplex, 'cause I grew up in Forney, so I was a
Who's Rain
dyed-wool
Man
Dallas
now?
guy. What?
Said who's Rain Man now? Minus all the intelligence,
Fuck you.
You don't get the
Anyways,
card counting
Dallas
or the
boy.
intelligence.
I get nothing. Growing up
in the Dallas side of things, I really, and even back 15 years ago when I first started playing over in Fort Worth's a better scene in general. And I don't mean that to shit on the Dallas scene. It's just that there's not as much separation by genre. Like everyone that's into music in Fort Worth is into music.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they do. You can be Joe Savage and do kind of an alt country kind of thing. You can be a mean motor scooter and do a post punk kind of thing. Doesn't matter. We're all part of the same music scene.
Yeah.
Dallas, it never felt like that. Dallas, it felt like if you play X style of music, you get Y results, period.
Yeah.
Because I was in a bunch of metal bands in Dallas, and it was like, this is the chunk you're allowed to hang out in.
It's more of a machine over there, I feel like.
But it's not even an efficient machine. It's not even a good machine.
I don't know that the music machine ever is efficient.
It does what it does. I don't know. It does what it does. But I just have no love for Dallas. I don't. And I absolutely love Fort Worth. And as stupid as that sounds, coming from the Fort Worth roots guy, it's just true. It's a better
if you said anything else, it would probably be bad for the brand.
I'd be okay to. I am of the mind. If I felt differently, I would say it. But it's just true.
As a son of Arkansas, which has always been, the
step cousin,
the step brother, the step brother to like better states. It's Fort Worth kind of feels at home. Like, are we overshadowed by Dallas? Yes, fucking absolutely.
Where do you get that?
Are we always punching up? Are we punching up? Yeah, always.
We're punching.
Well, no, but that's the thing is, like, you have to understand that the big bang for the Dallas music scene was the 1980s in Deep Ellum. And
Read
this bock.
I need to
Fort
read the
Worth's
book.
Rock and Roll Roots by...
I know. I have a copy of it. I don't have an excuse.
I went blank. Mark Nobles. Jesus.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I don't
Read
have an
that
excuse.
book.
I have
You
the book
own it,
now.
yeah.
I have no excuse for not reading it yet.
It's incredible. Just the history of Fort Worth and how it played heavily in the national music scene.
Well, and I did ask Mark that if he talked about George Carlin's influence on the Fort Worth scene.
Comedy
back in
scene?
the day. Yeah, because him and his comedy partner had a radio show in Fort Worth for a year.
That's right. No, somebody has brought this up, and I never did look into it, but...
Yeah, so if you watch the George Carlin documentary on HBO Max, it talks about he did a year in Fort Worth. Him and, I forget his comedy partner's name, but they would do their radio show in the morning, and then they would go do their act at night at local clubs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we're talking about George Carlin, who's arguably one of the best stand-up comedians
He's
ever.
one of my top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, if
He kind of got to
he's
start here.
But yeah,
it was,
he got
it was
a weird-
Fort Worth like connection though, right?
it's a direct Fort Worth connection.
And what year is this?
I want to say it was the late 50s. I want to say,
Is he that fucking old?
yeah,
George Carlin?
When he died, he was in his 70s, I think.
I'm looking it up.
Maybe if we want to promote Fort Worth, maybe we should just start calling this FWD.
Well, that's the way it should be if you're reading left to right like everyone else does in America.
Right.
Fort Worth comes first.
Let's just, you know what? From now on, I'm just calling it FW. Can we make that a hashtag?
Did you see
FWD?
there was an April Fool's bullshit like social media thing going around. I can't remember who kicked it off, but they said, great news. The Dallas and Fort Worth have decided that from now on, DFW will now be called FWD. Like talking about the airport.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
mean-
oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, duh.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be if you're looking at a map. But
We've heard it DFW so long that FWD sounds stupid.
Yeah.
even when I lived in Dallas, I always thought it didn't make sense. I was like,
Okay.
Dallas is
What do
on
y'all
the
think
right.
about Arlington trying to get in on the anagram?
You know
I'm
what?
not big on Arlington.
DFWA?
No, I'm for Arlington being in.
I mean, look, they've got the Death Star down there. They got the Ranger Stadium.
There's a lot of things that are quote unquote Dallas that are in Arlington.
Exactly.
You want to hear my hot take on Arlington?
Yes.
So we had family in Arlington when I was growing up as a kid. Arlington was Mecca for raising children in the DFW area. It was
like
great.
Keller is now.
No, way better than Keller.
Way better than where you
Arlington.
motherfuckers are
It
living.
was Arlington, right? The only thing
We live up where the plebes are.
Way better than you fucking.
the only thing really going on in Arlington was, Six Flags and
Wet and Wild.
Hurricane Harbor.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
It's Hurricane Harbor now. It was Wet and Wild back in the day.
I remember, Grandpa. I was there too.
I shit in the pool when it was Wet and Wild, okay?
I had a kid. And this kid was probably 6, 7 years old, and we're standing in the line for what's the big black one with the
Black
two
hole.
tubes?
Yeah.
The black hole.
Yeah.
We're standing in line for that, and it's me and my super smoking hot girlfriend, and we're standing there, and this kid just walks up to me and just pisses on my leg. And I was so fucking mad, and I do have a temper about me. I try to keep it under wraps, and this kid doing this put me into absolute lockdown. I didn't move. I just let the kid finish.
You didn't move your leg?
I just fucking stood there.
Did you look down? Did you watch it while it was happening? Like the piss shooting out of his dick onto your leg?
I'm looking at the kid, and then I look at the mom or the parent, right?
You didn't do anything about
And I'm
this?
looking straight at her, and she just waits for him to finish, and then as soon as he's done, she goes, "Come on." Like no, doesn't say a fucking word to me. She just goes, "Come on," and like,
You finished.
You're done. You're done peeing. Come on, let's go. Like, I'm a tree. I'm a fucking wall.
Are you looking?
What am I?
Are you like looking at your leg,
I'm
just
not-
watching the piss?
I was in absolute fucking lockdown. What are you gonna do? Because what I wanted to do, if it had been somebody over the age of 7, is murder them, right? So I'm dealing with this.
That seems like an acceptable murder age. 8 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If they piss on your leg, 8 and up, you can get murdered.
cute
for it.
kid, by the
Yeah.
way, cute kid.
Just
Oh,
did
no.
not know where to piss.
So he just walks over to the first leg he finds, and my girlfriend is looking at
Why
me.
you though? I mean, were there other people
I don't know,
around?
dude. I was so fucking mad.
He's like, I'm about to piss on this motherfucker. He ain't gonna say shit.
And he was right. No, I think I was probably 17, 18 at the time.
So you were a kid.
So and that's why
but
you didn't know what to do.
This was a child. Nowadays, obviously, I'd have handled it a little different. But
Yeah,
at
you
that
kicked him in the face.
At that time in my life, that's the first time someone had peed on me. Ever. At all. Any quantity. So I didn't know.
You didn't pledge a fraternity in college.
I felt college was
got-
for smarter people like Richard, so I just didn't go.
I'm sorry. I've already
did
been.
not go
I've
to
already
college
been pissed
until I
on.
was in my late 20s. And by
Anyway.
then I wasn't pissing on anyone.
Anyway, fuck Arlington.
Fuck Arlington.
I like
pissed-
Arlington.
Arlington pissed on Andrew Turner's leg.
wrong leg,
Pissed on the wrong leg. Fuck you. You will always get dissed on the Fort Worth Roots podcast.
That woman's reaction, just, come on.
Come on.
Just fucking
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. I tried.
That's pretty fucked up.
I try to do that with my kids. Like if I see my kids and they're doing something super fucked up, I'm like,
Well, I'll tell you right now.
what kind of parent am I going to be? I'm going to be like,
do I let this happen?
yeah, do I
or-
just let it happen? Like if I'm like way over here and it's happening way over here, can I like give them a wave and they come over here and I don't have to deal with it? If it's too close, like proximity wise, and you know, you go, oh, I'm so sorry, my kid pissed on your leg like that.
I think my reaction would have been, if that's my child, I think it would be fucking horrified. That would be my reaction. Holy
here.
shit! What the fuck are you doing?
I wouldn't be surprised about one of my kids. Well, at this point, no, they're old enough now. They know
They're
not
old enough they shouldn't pee on
when to
people.
whip it out.
They should know when to keep their penis inside their pants or not.
Well, and at least if they don't know that much, they should know that you shouldn't piss on somebody.
Yeah, you should.
Why are you saying it like that? Like it's a fucking arguable statement. Yeah, you shouldn't piss on people without their consent. You should never piss on anybody.
Maybe growing up they were told like, listen,
it's okay to pee on people.
When you go piss, Danny's laying in his bed. Just go piss on him every time.
Jesus. Every time I have Richard Keller on the Fort Worth Roots podcast, it always comes down to piss.
It's not even my fault this time.
Richard said all that.
Yeah,
that was Richard talking.
For any kind of hate mail or comments on this episode.
Richard.Keller@gmail.com. Go for it.
ITCHYRICHIE.com. It will be in the show notes.
Send it to itchyrichie.com, and I probably will respond to it with something sarcastic.
And he'll come pee on your leg.
If you need kids to piss on you, he has some.
That's true. I have 3 kids that are willing to piss on legs.
I'm editing that out, I think. I don't know. Andrew sitting in front of the computer is going to have to decide if that... I think he's going to decide that has to be edited out.
I thought you wanted to make money at this if we're not going to promote, a piss on you.
Yeah, golden showers. There's money in golden showers.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
There is.
I just want to circle back to George Carlin. Just anything to get you guys
let's circle back to George Carlin.
All right. George Carlin was born in 1937. He died in 2008.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that old, man. Jesus. What does that make him? 37 to 08.
Well, he's dead now.
So 68.
Well, yes, he died in 08.
He stopped aging
69,
a while ago.
71, is that right? 37 to 08.
Don't ask me for math.
71 or 72. 71. Age 71. Damn.
George Carlin. I was at a Buddhist monastery for...
How the fuck does this tie in?
A piece. See. And, in our morning, meditation cycle, the Zen Buddhists, they have chants. They have their mantras and chants and things. And, one of the things that they always, became a part of the mantra, the chant that you were doing for the morning were the people that you were honoring that had recently died. And I was there at this Buddhist monastery when George Carlin died. So a lot of it's a lot of like, boom, boom, things that are very peaceful, and you keep you in your state. But, they were reading this stuff in Japanese, which, I got used to hearing, even though I didn't know what it said, but I knew when we were on this part because and George Carlin, and they were honoring the dead, the recently passed, yeah, and a lot of them were Buddhist monks, people from the religion that were important, but they also honored George Carlin because they saw him as a truth speaker.
He really was, man. Yeah. He really was.
He was.
And that type of comedy will get you shot nowadays, I think.
No, I still think they're out there. Mark Maron's still doing good shit.
Yeah, I think the pendulum's going to swing back, and we're going to see some people pushing some envelopes.
George Carlin
they're going to be very controversial, and then like 30 years from now, when we're dying, they're going to be like George Carlin, and we're like, that dude. Well, that dude was saying some shit that wasn't popular at the time.
Even I would argue that even John Mulaney is still going to be.
Maybe.
John Mulaney is going to be revered as the Carlin of our generation.
Go back.
Yes,
he's not pushing the envelopes like Carlin.
He's not pushing the envelopes the same way, but he's pushing the envelopes.
He's more Seinfeld than Carlin.
He's more Seinfeld than Carlin. However, fuck. We could do a whole separate podcast on comedy.
Listen, go back to
introducing.
Go back to George Carlin's entire catalog, and try to decide if he's a left leaning or a right leaning or a Republican or a Democrat.
No, you can't.
That dude,
that's the thing.
He was a truth speaker, and he was all over the place. And if you tried to put a pin in him right now, there's no way you could do it. There's no way.
And that's the beauty of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
was
He wasn't
completely
trying to appease any one group of
No.
people.
He was speaking his mind the whole time, and
And
that's
he was
it.
so fucking right about so many things. And we're watching the George Carlin comedy show unfold right in
We
front of
are.
us.
We really are.
All the things he talked about, what's next, and what about then, and how about after that, and it's all happening.
Yeah, it is.
It seriously is. It is a podcast in and of itself, breaking down.
Oh, shit,
just
yeah.
some of the comedy he was doing, and especially if you want to be bold enough to take the political lens on it and say, like, okay, let's look at this piece of stand-up and let's say to ourselves, how does the things that he was joking apply to what we are dealing with right now? Which part's left-leaning, which part's right-leaning? And
Did we just make
start to
another
dig into
podcast?
that.
Did we just make a
I mean, I
third
don't know. Maybe
podcast
we
the
did.
three of us are going to do?
Nah,
breaking down old school
I ain't got
comedy.
time for that. I ain't got time for that. But George Carlin
You
was
say that, but
we'll bring you
make
another
time for
6-pack
that.
of beer.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you know I have to be at work at 2:30 tomorrow?
Oh, shit, dude. Time is it?
I'm a psychopath. It's okay. Time is irrelevant. Don't say what time it is. Don't do that.
Not on air.
I won't.
But on air, we can say, like, he
It's 9:30 a.m.
wrap this shit up.
At the top of the hour.
At the top of the hour, I'm Larry King, Schenectady, New York.
I'm excited about y'all's podcast. I want to see you flourish. What are the goals? Are you going to try to make this
Goals.
Yeah. What are you going to try to?
We haven't thought that far ahead.
Are you doing this for your own personal pleasure, or are you?
Yeah, we're doing this for fucking gits and shiggles, right?
Okay. Gets and shiggles.
Yes. I
That's
mean,
where I'm at.
look,
By the way, you did an awesome job. Like,
Thanks.
whenever we decided we were going to switch into the pilot and you took over, you did great.
thanks. I think I could do this, like this sort of thing. Like, saw some flaws, which is why I wanted to come in.
That's why it's a pilot.
Fucking
Shoot a pilot in a friendly environment. Yeah. I think I've told you this. I used to be a reporter, so this kind of
Buddhist monastery, fucking reporter. I mean, is there anything you really haven't done?
lots, but I'm trying to get it done. I'm doing it now.
Tell us about the time you did the underwater welding next to that one thing.
Yeah, so I was down there. They made a movie about it.
Oh shit! I saw that one.
Yeah, Matt Damon was in it.
Fuck
he
him.
was.
They should have used you. You're far more attractive.
Yeah, they should have. I'm better on camera, but he memorizes his lines really well.
That's a plus.
Yeah, so did a little underwater welding back in the day. No, the fuck were we talking about?
You're just all over the place. Tell us about. Okay, what ended you up at a Buddhist monastery? How did that happen?
Okay, so I was a reporter.
Okay.
I was working on a newspaper.
Did they know you were undercover?
They employed me to be undercover.
Oh, the Buddhists did? The monks did?
The newspaper. No. I'm saying if you were going to do it, the newspaper paid you
I'll
to be
just let
undercover.
you tell the story.
Yeah, no. No. I was in a newspaper. I was writing for a living. I didn't have not a lot of ambition. We're talking about early 20s, but and some things not go right. I covered a story at the newspaper in which we'll say, lightly armed man, we're talking about a guy that had a kitchen knife and a broom handle, was gunned down by police. That was a story that I covered.
No tasers that day, huh?
No, they had tasers. He got
He just decided to use guns
yeah,
instead.
they used guns on this particular day, and this was long before like Greg Floyd. We're talking about like mid 2000s. Yeah, George Floyd. And I tried to cover that story in a way in which it would bring a little bit of light to it, and some like just talking about like the very fact that how many shell casings were on the ground when this one guy that was known to have a mental disability was looking for his caretaker, his sister, and he had a broom handle and a kitchen knife. He gets gunned down. Like, I think it's important for the readers to know that there were 16 shell casings found that got cut from the story. That bothered me a lot. And
I can see.
So
how.
anyway,
Yeah.
I realized that was not going to be an avenue for truth telling, and
Yeah.
I bounced from that. And
Goddamn, dude.
yeah, I did a little, I wanted to go have an adventure before I became an adult. So I did a little hitchhiking. Ended up with a friend of mine at a Buddhist monastery. Was there for a month. And then went on to some friends that I played video games with online and played Warcraft for a couple of weeks.
I've
before
ventured down the
coming back home.
Warcraft trail. Have you heard that they just recently had a new update?
Yeah, there's a new thing. My
Apparently
brother,
they
my brother-in-law
wiped the
plays.
game, right?
Yeah.
Did they wipe the entire
I
game?
don't know. Like every couple of years, I feel like they wipe it.
Whatever I was listening to today, they were talking about. It sounded like they reset the whole game.
Yeah, I think they do it every. I mean, every X Pack now they kind of have to do a sort of reboot. I think to re-engage the player base.
You
I don't
start
know.
off at 0, everybody.
No, I don't think so.
Did you ever do the Warcraft thing, Richie?
No, I did Ultima Online. Back
Old
in
school.
the dial-up days.
Is that
Back on my 14.4 modem. It's the precursor to World of Warcraft.
sounds like something beauticians would use for like haircut?
Hi, this is Ultima Online, and this is where we get your hair. So good. On the internet.
Something.
No,
Ulta. Oh, I'm thinking of
you're thinking of
Ulta.
Ulta, not
Okay,
Ultima.
all right. So you're not dyeing your tips or
No frosted tips here.
whatever the fuck people
When
do with
Richie
their
does
hair.
his hair, he does it himself, and it's always in blue.
Really? That whole beautiful thing you have going on, you did that?
Yeah.
Last time we saw you out at the
Yeah,
the
that
blue
was when
hair.
it was blue, and it'll be red for Christmas.
Yeah,
That reminds me, you guys need to get
some
green shirts.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
BT Dubs.
By the way, Itchy Richard the Burning Sensations. Green shirts for December 23rd.
All right, I'll bring them next week.
Did we leave any loose ends? Did we close up all our stories?
I'm sure we did not. I hope we didn't. I hope there's more to talk about
This was,
later.
first of all, this was the most original episode we've done ever.
Is this an episode?
Oh,
Like
yes.
Okay.
We're at 2.5 hours of content right now.
There's going to be some heavy editing.
Before editing.
Yeah, we probably need to edit that down to about 45 minutes.
Well, part of it's our podcast that'll be edited separately. Which, if you want to edit it, you can, or I will. I don't care.
Or I'll do it.
Or Andrew can do it too.
But you probably want. I would think you'd want control of it.
I don't know.
This is his baby.
Honestly, I'd kind of like just see what you did with it.
Yeah. I'd love to do that.
Because it's your podcast, and you kind of know. You've been doing this for a minute now.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your edit
I'd really like to do it.
personally.
Yeah.
No offense to you, Rich, but
None taken.
I
The
mean,
less
I'm
work
gonna-
I have to do, the better.
this guy has done at least 100 podcasts that we know of.
And I did one
And he's
for a
done
class
one.
project.
Yeah, I think we're at 113 now.
Yeah, so
114.
Sounds about right.
so let's see what Andrew does with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I like this.
All
Thank
right.
you. It's an honor.
Yeah.
You're going to have to send me some music.
We'll have to send you the couple of tracks. Yeah, we can.
And
do
if
that.
if you want, no, you have a timeline. If you don't get it to me in the next few days, you're out of luck.
That's fine.
But what I
We're
need,
fucked. He's not airing this podcast or anything else. He's cutting on blocking us from social media.
what I need
So
you.
get on it, Rich.
No. What I mean is, I'm either going to do it my way and make it kind of Fort Worth roots-ish
Well,
Or-
I thought that was the plan. Yeah.
with your pilot. I'm talking about your pilot.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about too.
Now, with your pilot, if you want to send me some music, now,
the only music, the only thing I was going to send was Mean Motor Scooter.
well, that's on here. We
Yeah, that's
did
true.
that.
That's done.
But if you want to do like an intro outro,
Oh,
I could write one, or we could pull from the millions of fucking hours of
honestly,
content I've got.
I think now we just use what you're
Okay.
using,
And
just
that's
be
fine.
like a
yeah,
because my first like fucking 30 or 40 episodes was me with the standard roadcaster bullshit, and I got way better than that. So
This is just in my mind. Somebody hits. it's just the pilot at the very least is just it's under the Fort Worth Roots flag banner. It's just a normal podcast, except it's like 15, 20 minutes. As soon as it's like bum 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 bum, it's like, hey, this is Slim Pickens with fucking Itchy Richie, and we're here doing this, extra additional thing. It's just an add-on to what you're already doing.
That's how I viewed it this whole time too. It's just kind of a supplement to what you're doing,
right? And then I mean, if we keep this going, we might want to give it more and more of its own identity, still under the Fort Worth Roots banner.
However y'all want to do it, I'm here for you.
But
well, we're here for you.
But I think for a pilot, I mean, we basically we're flying our flag under your banner. We're not even flying a flag. We're just we're doing a podcast under your banner. If it keeps going, maybe we get our own art for it, and we somehow tie it in artistically with your
we can figure that out.
Your logo art, right? And it's just basically it's like, this is the album review that's hosted by the Fort Worth Roots podcast.
Yeah, 100%. So y'all just let me know what you want to do. And for this pilot, for now, unless y'all want to change it later, we'll just close it out with that same Fort Worth Roots outro music.
No, that's what we should do.
And we'll close this episode out with our Fort Worth Roots fans and tell them that they need to go see itchyrichie.com. It'll be in the show notes. And Slim Pickens, do you have a website or is it all on Instagram?
Yeah, pretty much just Instagram right now.
Okay. And
slim.pickens.music.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for coming out. I know it's always
thank you for having us.
You got to schedule things and move shit around, and I appreciate it. So, and you guys are I don't feel like I have to say this, but you're always welcome here.
Appreciate it.
Knuckles.
Knuckle up.
All right. Fort Worth Roots, we are going to do the exit for the pilot now, but thank y'all for being here, and we will see you next week. And at this point, I will switch over to the music side of the board, and I'll start playing this music, and you can start doing your outro. You need a minute?
No, I'm good.
Ready to go?
Yeah, do it. All right.
This has been a presentation of Fort Worth Roots Podcast Network.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is the pilot episode for the Fort Worth Roots album review. This is me, Slim Pickens, with Itchy Richie. Let's do that again.
I have to pee real bad.
All right, we're going to go for a longer one now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you go first. I'll go, then you go.
This is behind the scenes, folks.
Yeah.
No judgments. All right.
This has been a presentation of Fort Worth Roots Podcast Network.
Hey, what's up, Fort Worth Roots audience? This is Slim Pickens. Thanks for tuning in. I got Itchy Richie here with me. I want to give a big shout out to Andrew Turner on the Fort Worth Podcast for having us on. One time.
Let's do it again.
One time.
It's all good.
All right. Just make sure you talk to your audience for your pilot.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the shout outs. And you should definitely continue to do more shout outs. But you don't have a name for your podcast, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, for right now, it's the Fort Worth Roots album review podcast.
So just
there you go. That's what we're going with for now.
And yeah.
This has been a presentation of Fort Worth Roots Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, this is Slim Pickens. Thanks for tuning in to the Fort Worth Roots album review podcast. We're going to be bringing this to you once a month. Thank you to Andrew Turner of Fort Worth Roots for hosting us.
Thank you guys. This is Itchy Richie. Y'all have a good one.
Never look back, it's showing on the bones we buried.
Absolute madness. Thank you, Itchy Richie, for once again tarnishing the good reputation of the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Slim Pickens, Mr. Pryor, it is always a pleasure running into you. I'm so glad we finally got you in studio. So thanks for coming out. Guys and gals, if y'all didn't catch the action this weekend, we had Space Poets and Jeff Zero out at Ridgely Room. That was excellent. There were 6 other bands, but I don't remember their names. They were, some of them were awesome. Some of them weren't that good, but the ticket prices pretty cheap. And it was a fun outing, and we got to see our friends. If you're not somebody that goes out and catches live music, I would strongly encourage you to jump into any of these. Some of them are better than others, but they're always fun. Every single one of them. And you get to support these local musicians, so that's always a plus. Then we got to go out to Magnolia Motor Lounge, and this was on this Saturday, and we got to see Jaybirds, Doc Rock with the Traumatics, Good Latimer, and the Taylor Young Band. And all of this was the price of admission. I think if you got them ahead of time, it was like either $10 or $12. I paid full price at the door because I'm a smart guy. Anyway, all in all, I spent $30 on tickets, and I got to see 12 live bands this weekend. $30. Jesus, come on. We talk about this in the episode, but we got to do something to reach out to the community and show them, like, hey, man, people are out here having a really good time for next to nothing. And I really hope that this live music scene flourishes here in the Fort Worth area, because it really does bring something special to our community. So I'm always going to be a big advocate for you to get your butt off the couch, come hang out. I don't know what you like spending money on. I don't like going to the theater anymore because a lot of my favorite theaters in Fort Worth have kind of closed down, petered out, or stopped offering certain services. Like there's that movie tavern or tavern grill or whatever it's called down there on 7th Street. I used to like going in there because you could push a button. They'd bring you food. If you ran out of drink, you could push the button again. They'd bring you another drink. They don't do that anymore. And I am so upset about that. I've decided I'm not going back. So anyway, movies right now are just kind of out for me. I'm waiting for a really dope theater to open up that'll be fun to watch movies again. But you can get just about every movie you want on streaming services now. So yeah, that's where I'll be watching all these wonderful cinematic adventures that are coming out lately. But anyway, spend your money differently. Go to live shows. See entertainment in person. Live entertainment. It's good stuff, and it's cheap. We talked about it in this episode, but for the price of a hot dog and a beer or 2 beers at Dickies Arena, you can go see a show. You can go see a full live show at one of these local venues, and they're excellent. You just do not know what you're missing until you go see the Jaybirds or Good Latimer or the Traumatics or Cutthroat Finches, all these local bands that are just, they put on such a great performance, and you're really missing out if you don't go see these guys. So pull up the schedules, do some research, look up live music on Facebook or whatever, or you can go to the Fort Worth Roots Facebook page anytime one of our buddies is playing. If they've been on the show and we become aware of a show that they got coming up, we always blast out their information. We try to anyway. So another good resource to see awesome bands. We only know awesome people. We don't know anybody that plays bad music. So Fort Worth Roots on Facebook, Fort Worth Roots on Instagram. And people are starting to get better about sending me or tagging me whenever they post stuff. So it's been easier for me to keep you updated. Yeah. And come see me. Hell, if that's not enough great reason, I'll be there, usually, when I can. All right. Sponsors. Wood Post Metalworks. These people have been cranking out new designs for your home and office nonstop. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm trying to get something worked out where I get them on the show so I can ask them, what increased your tempo? Like, you're putting out so much more stuff. You're making so many more new creations. What happened? They've been digging into Alpha Brain from Joe Rogan or something. I don't know what's going on, but their performance is way up. 10% off at checkout. Use podcast 817 at checkout for that 10% off. Again, that's Wood Post Metalworks, and you can go to woodpostmetalworks.com to see everything they have to offer. And they can also customize stuff for you. So if you don't see what you're looking for, anything with plasma cutting, these would be your people for that. And many other steel fabrication things. So check it out. woodpostmetalworks.com. Houk Walker Originals. HoukWalker.com is where you go to see all of their custom thingies, woodworking and laser engraving for also home and business. You make it out to our event last September. We had these tumblers, these big mugs, and it had our logo engraved into the cup. Pretty cool stuff. They can help you do stuff like that too. Go to HoukWalker.com and check out what they've got available. Our friends over at Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. We love having them as a sponsor. Not just because they have the best ratings in town, not because they're excellent people with extremely impressive levels of integrity and other wonderful things to say about them, all the things. But they're my friends now. I love these people. They're great. They're good to me. They're good to the show. And they can be good to you too. You can check them out by going to roofingsolutionshouk.com, or you can give them a call at 817-882-6520. And don't forget, they'll give you 50% off a roofing tune-up just by mentioning the Fort Worth Roots podcast. Hail season is coming. It is upon us. It draws nearer. You're going to need a roofer. So take that number down. If you don't do it now, you're going to wish you had it later. You're going to have 30, 40, 50, 1,000 out-of-town roofers hopping around your neighborhood, putting all sorts of crazy crap on your doorknob, begging you or threatening you in order to get your business. That'd be a lot easier if you just called Darren the day before the hell hits and say, hey, bro, come put one of your signs in my yard so these guys know we're good. Cut down on the BS. It's North Texas. You're going to have to deal with it sometime, but we've got Darren Houk, so we don't have to worry about it. But there are a lot of new people in the area that don't know about reputable local roofing companies like Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk, and they're going to have their hands full yelling at people, get off my lawn, that kind of thing. Okay, that's it. Those are all the sponsors. We do have events. No, we don't. We've got Springfest 2023, April 22nd. Out here at Camp Carter, YMCA Camp Carter, and it's going to be excellent. I hope you've already put it on your calendars. If not, go ahead and pencil that down or whatever. Mark it and plan to be there. We'll be there. We're still brainstorming, coming up with ideas, and anyway, it's going to be bananas, and I want you to come out there. It's 300 or 400 something acres. It's beautiful. They've got their own little pond. Like, it's almost a lake. It's huge. Big rock wall tower that you can climb, rappelling cables, and not rappelling cables, zip lines. It's been a long week, bro. Anyway, it's going to be a good time. Horse riding, archery, bounce houses, food trucks, live music, crazy podcasters. Oh, yeah. And it's called the River Oak Springfest Car Show. I don't know. I think I just called it Springfest 2023 a second ago. River Oak Springfest Car Show. There were 300 classic cars last year, and this year there will be at least that many, and it was impressive. You get your exercise in just trying to see the damn cars because you're walking all over the place, but there will be more this year. So if you're into classic cars, that's definitely the one you want to go to. That's the car show for you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode. I don't know if you caught this, but I said in the episode that this was going to be the first episode for New Year's. It was not. We had Daryl Bartell, local author, on as our first guest of 2023. And that's just because I goofed up. So, anyway, thought I'd address that at the very last possible second, but I'm exhausted, and now I'm rambling, and I love you, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend or week, and I'll see you next Monday, okay? All right. See ya. Bye.